Hello, everyone, and welcome back to week 2 of OSAS 8. I'm Ether, here with Tragic, right?
Hello, everyone. This is going to be my first cast, and it's
Yeah,
OSAS.
it's OSAS.
So I'm kind of a little bit excited for this match because this is the first time I'll be seeing my KG student, Suiseki, being played. So this will be an interesting match to watch. And on the other side, we have Chikara Dragons, if I remember correctly.
Yes, that's correct.
So this will be an interesting match to start us off.
Yeah, so Suiseki kind of rebranding under the name Tutsune, covering that Atlas pick, one of the picks that he was known for back in the day when he was playing in both of those KGs, alongside Lala Ace and Knight on Seraphim Oxblood. And Chikara Dragons, I
Leading off
believe
with the
today they're fielding Pudash, I think Carlos, and Lunaria, if I recall.
Yep. And to start things off, instantly Erasmus Band, second pick. A lot of people do not want to deal with it. But it does give Suiseki the Atlas, and response again, Asher Astel. Pretty normal picks, but I actually don't know if that's an Asher goalie yet.
No. Luna is a pretty big Asher player, right? She loves kind of taking position right in front of the enemy goalie and then just goes to town, right? And just hopes that her midfielder can kind of procure her the rock. And yeah, that's kind of confirmed by the fact that Pudashi is locking in his Dubu goalie, one of his most played picks as well.
Yeah, and we're also going to see on the side of Seraphim Oxblood, double brawler comp actually. Going to probably be looking for dash punches and dash punch from Jakar if you want to call it that.
Yeah, and well, Jakar Julie, and it's a catalyst start. We're going to be catalysting today. How are you feeling about that?
I'm feeling like we're either going to see a lot of core flip kills, or we're going to see a lot of core flip goals.
For sure. And wow, we already see Oxblood opening up the first barrier. Their offense really getting Tutsune with a great kill on Luna, and now we have a power play in favor of Oxblood.
Yeah, we're going to see them bring up the core right now. They're going to try to shove it into the corner, hopefully, but we'll see it. We're going to see the reset back down to the other side right now from Chikara Dragons right now. Core flip comes out. The core flip I was talking about beforehand. Another core flip in response, but nothing's going to come of it.
Yeah, flips, waits, to see if there's any sort of answer. Luna doesn't really pull the trigger, and now Knight has a core flip of his own. Might use it for the kill here, right? But I don't know what the cooldown on that dash is.
Yeah, if Chikara, I was going to say before, if Chikara Dragons can keep this in the corner, I don't think the core flip's going to matter, but they do secure the goal and they get the core flip out of Knight.
Yeah, they do one better, right? Double time, getting that core flip, getting that goal, and now it's massively in favor of Chikara Dragons when it comes to this energy.
The energy is going to be big in this set, but if Seraphim Oxblood can neutralize this goal set right now, that would be a massive core flip coming out of Dubu. And another core flip in front of the net for Asher, but it's not going to be used. And we're going to go back into a neutral state.
Yeah, neutral state we are, right? But now we see the members of Seraphim Oxblood trying to bring this forward, but Carlos just keeps winning his midfield, burns that flip. Now, Luna isn't quick enough on the trigger to burn hers, but she still has it, and now,
nice kill.
Kill onto Knight. Carlos moves it up. Oh, Tutsune walking too far forward means he loses this barrier. The Crystal Thorn's not really getting anything. Lala Ace looking for some sort of clear on the bottom side. Does get it for the time being, but it's back up to the top side. And for now, we seem to be fine.
Yeah, we've gone into a lull until the core flip, but shot into the Cosmic Expanse. And then a dash punch kill in response as well. This could easily go into the net. And it does.
Yeah, it does. A great pass out by Knight down to Lala Ace, and they do figure it out.
Yep. At this point, though, I think for Chikara Dragons, they do need to be careful of these random kills that the side of Seraphim Oxblood can get. It's very, very easy to overlook a Juliet dash punch or Jakar shotgun.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of those so far, but alongside that, we've seen just a lot of great movements around Pudash, around Carlos, and those
wonderful
are
attempts.
Kills. That's a flip into 2 KOs, resetting the energy and getting the goal.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate. If Knight didn't have core flip, there's a very good chance that could have been saved, but nice confirming the core flip.
Yeah, we had a good attempt on the strangle from Pudash, but unfortunately it didn't really pan out.
We're going to see it come back into Seraphim Oxblood's corner. But it's also like another thing you're noticing from I always forget the name. It's this Chikara Dragons, right? Whenever it feels like they get offense, it feels like they lose it very, very quickly, right? They're not able to keep it in the corner how well they want to. And you can kind of see that happening a lot.
We did see this last week, right? And that's kind of one of the things we were hoping that they improved on, is kind of Luna's ability to keep possession on that offense, and that's a flip. That's another one. Up to Knight, doesn't really get it, and they do get it in the end, right with that lock and load, and Carlos doesn't have the flip ready in time for that, and now we're going into this first draft. Julie first pick, 1-2, Adrenaline Rush,
There's
great
so many
options
things
available.
Yeah, Fight or Flight is also a fine option. Prize Fighter if you want to play more for damage. We'll see what he wants to just go with in the end.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we just see a Fight or Flight pickup. It's very safe, and that's what we do get. The Drakkar getting extra special actually kind of means he can look for more of these kind of Drakkar dash punches in a way, right, on pretty much every round. Now having that 1-2 hits.
I am a little surprised by the Dubu taking Built, since that is kind of what Asher wanted at this point, or Rampage, or even Prize Fighter to be honest, but she's going to be picking up the Castellast, so probably playing more for stuffing potential instead.
Yeah, I think the worry is just on this map, while you do like the size, it can be a little dangerous, especially when you're dealing with the Drakkar Juliet on the opposite side, both of which have the pummelers, and that's a barrier that is dropped in favor of
very early.
And, well, it looks like Chikara Dragons is getting their offense back.
They did get the corner play this time, which is very good for them. We'll see if they can continue it, though, because there is an open net, and a whiff strike shot, unfortunate right there, is going to have the core go into the net.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that's not what we want to see, Budash, but hey, Seraphim Oxblood, let's see if they can take this and, you know, run with it.
Yeah. But the one thing that didn't happen... I was going to say, the one thing that didn't happen last round was the kill. But sadly, on the start of this round, instantly into the hole.
Yeah, I mean, they make up for it, right? And now with the double pummelers, they have the speed they need, but oh my god, Carlos, great piercing shot, stops that offense, and now Luna's able to respawn back in this corner. But Lalace just keeps clearing it, and now it's just on the opposite side.
Yeah, and there's triple core flip right now. And they do actually get one. They actually trade it. Another one trade back. A missed strike shot is going to result in the barrier being lost, though. But, good thing for Chikara Dragons, they do actually have a neutral core flip. And then another core flip and another core flip. Like I said in the beginning, so many core flips being taken off the field just because of this catalyst. But at the same time, shotgun, it kind of does beat.
Yeah, strike shotgun, right? That's really all you need to win these interactions, especially when Pudash doesn't have more abilities to hold it with. And now, I mean, we see most of the players are around that similar level mark with, you know, Knight just having ticked over to level 5, but Luna's still level 2. She hasn't really had a chance to interact with the core very much.
Yeah, it's the corner offense is just not being good enough right now, and sadly Luna is not really getting the core much, but it's going to be in front of the net. A great save by Pudash right there, being able to keep it out, and a great ult to keep it in.
This might be your chance, right? But no, Lalace gets that clear bottom side, and now Pudash is in a 1v2. Carlos is reinforcing, but now Luna needs to get this flip down, right? But no, it just goes right past Pudash. Another set in favor of Seraphim Oxblood.
Yeah, this is not looking good for the side of Chikara Dragons right now. Especially after the pretty bad first set, getting 3-0'd feels bad. But the ad rush and the 1-2 punch also coming out this set. This could be a problem.
I mean, maybe a sign of solace is the fact that Juliet is so far down in the draft, so any of Dubu or Estelle could deny the 1-2 punch. Dubu opting for the Orb Dancer, you know, a generally better pick for the Dubu. Atlas also gets this hot shot, and that's the 1-2 punch getting denied. The ad rush is left up, and it actually goes to Julie. And
again, Asher not left with much besides creation at this point. This is, like, not good at all. Yeah, we could easily see a kill on kickoff right now.
Yeah, maybe not yet.
Ooh, the damage reduction is not enough.
Even if we don't see kills now, right? The ad rush is still there for later on.
And the ad rush.
There's the kill, right? Ad rush pop.
Even if you use everything, as long as you find that one kill, you will get all your cooldowns back right now.
Exactly.
But Pudash is actually stalling this very well right now, and Luna is in position with core flip. Ooh, and a clear behind the net. That is exactly what he needed right now.
Yeah,
but then
that's
loses the barrier. Up.
Yeah, I mean, Seraphim Oxblood really kind of holding these offenses amazingly, and despite that, Pudash just still continues to clear.
Yeah, he's actually playing really, really well right now. But some of these situations, right as he tries to save with a strike shot, he is missing those strike shots, was the one thing that is very sad right now. And I also probably shouldn't say anything, because right as I said that.
I will say though, right, that last set, one thing I really liked as an adaptation from Luna is just kind of coming back at least a little bit to help fish that core out sometimes, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that did make a big difference, but what won't make much of a difference for them is actually dying there, and now that's a flip having to be burned by Pudash. The Adrenaline Rush allows it to be intercepted, and Knight is still going to be able to be alive thanks to the Celestial intervention.
But another core flip in response, and a core flip able to stop that barrier from falling. It is going to be Seraphim Oxblood on offense right now, but it does come back. Going to go up, and we're going to see another goal opportunity right here. And it's stuffed out by the roll. We always love that roll. Yeah, oh, and a nice shotgun to end the set.
Yeah, roll really not doing much there, right? Where the lock and load is able to finish it off. You know, Drakkar having so many of those to help with the core control.
Yeah, it's actually becoming a massive problem just for core control, just dealing with the direct shotgun. You always have to play for it, because if you don't play for it, stuff like that will happen.
Exactly.
But right now, we're going to see Luna not taking the barrier. That was a very big fumble. It's very sad to see that. But she'll probably get her another opportunity in a second. No, it does get cleared by Tusine.
Yeah, he's doing a great job on this defense, and now Lale is pushing up. Pudash with a great flip, and then patience, and then the roll to stop the dash punch. But there's that flip, and it finally takes this barrier. Flip answered by Tutsune, and now Seraphim Oxblood is about to take this game if they score here.
And we're going to see a core flip out from Carlos. He's going to just slow play it, but secondary almost own goaling there. Luna's going to core flip in front of the net. Keep it in the corner, Carlos. He gets it, and they do take the barrier. It is actually back to a neutral game, but Knight almost has core flip right now, and if you can get that kill, yeah, that's a problem, and it's going to go into the net.
Yeah, I kind of saw it coming. I saw him leave the core there. He said, yeah, you're not going to touch the core there, are you? And then punishes Carlos for doing so. Now Pudash left in that 1v2. There's not much you can really do there, and, you know, Lale is slotting it in that bottom side.
Yeah, that was, the third set was definitely more kill heavy than the first two. Even though, on the side of Chikara Dragons, they were still dying in the first few sets, but I think it got a lot worse once the ad rush came out on the Julie.
Exactly, right? And not just with regards to dying more, just being able to use that ad rush to kind of convert and get these barriers and goals, right? And I mean, it's not just the Julie, right? I saw a lot of great just goal offense kind of coming in from the Drakkar, right?
Yeah.
Wallace getting these great strike shotguns on Pudash, right? Because a lot of the time, you know, you strike at the goalie, it's not going to do much. You have to go follow it up with the shotgun, and he did that pretty effectively, you know, the bread and butter of Drakkar. And on the other side, we did have Chikara Dragons trying to play that offense as best as they can, but there were some crucial fumbles out by Luna that didn't really lead to them doing that well, and then on the defense, there's only so much, so long you can hold.
Yeah. It is kind of sad, though. Even though Luna did fumble a few of those, it also felt like she really wasn't getting the core as often as it was possible. Yeah. The midfield battle right there just did not feel like it was in the favor of Chikara Dragons. And it kind of does go to show, because the redirect difference, right? Like, even though Carlos and Pudash do have a lot more redirects than the opposing team, they really couldn't find much offense, right?
Exactly, right? But I guess that is our game for the first round of Swiss, right? We'll be going to a short break, right? There's a few more games that kind of have to be done before we can get to the other side and get to round 2. So yeah, with that, we'll see you in a bit. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to round 2 of OSAS Week 8. Right, we're back again, and this time we have Boss versus Chikara ICBM.
And we're going to be on Oni Village this time. We're going to probably see different picks than the last game. And preferably no Juliet, no Drakkar, you know, those boring picks. We'll probably see more Kai and Estelle, hopefully.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Going into this, I really want to see this Kai first pick. Like, it is such a strong pick on this map, no matter who you're playing, right? And I want to see who these bans are going to be as well, right? We got Estelle, we got Kai as well as a response ban, but we're actually going to see an X ban on the side of Chikara ICBM, right?
Yes, that's correct. They are targeting Conqueror's X, right? Conqueror really known as that X player who just loves to beat down on people and instead goes for that Zentaro, right? And Shinx picking up this Asher, also being a pretty known Asher player, right? Some people might even say one trick, but hey, he might be comfortable on other stuff. But getting his comfort pick, that's going to bode well for him.
Yeah, and we're going to see Kai pick up and Finny. I actually don't know which one this is going to be, but the more interesting thing is that, yeah, it's a Dubu goalie and a Rune midfield instead.
Yeah, this is going to be Finny goalie, not Kai goalie. Of course, this is, you know, why Wipeout Ninja rebranded to Asianator Jr. Still prefers to go by Wipeout Ninja most of the time now. But we'll be piloting that Finny pick, right? And now AJ on this Kai in the midfield instead.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to actually see Rune, though. I really do not know if this is going to work out very well, but it's already showing its strength right there, just getting 2 barriers very quickly with the help of the pillar.
Yeah, but on the other side, right, Asianator Jr., Wipeout Ninja actually manages to get that second barrier with the triple take, but now, in this tough situation, gets banished and has the pillar dropped on them. AJ's looking really low, Barrage almost sends it in, but Boss is still looking okay on this offense.
Yeah, right now, Rune is actually in a really good position to score if the core can get to him, but right now, the side of ICBM, or is it Boss, is able to shut them out and score the goal right now.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing I do want to comment on, right? This is a Fight or Flight extra special start, and the only one on the side of Chikara ICBM who opts for the Fight or Flight is Shinx. Everyone else opts for extra special, and then on boss, all 3 of them went Fight or Flights.
Yeah, I am more of a fan of the Fight or Flight on this map. It gives you way more speed to be able to keep up with the core, especially when you're dealing stuff with like Kai and Zentaro, you know, all of the mobility they have.
And I mean, AJ slotting that in perfectly onto that barrier. The flip out by Musica del Bosque gets it cleared out, but I mean, Bosch just keeps this pressure going, and they still have a barrier to work with on their side. And now Mad is getting dropped really low, has to shadow swap out as Conqueror drops a slice and dice on him. And there's the flip, gets answered by Musica del Bosque. The big finish, does it finish here? And yes, it does, as Conqueror strikes it past Musica del Bosque.
Yeah, the side of Boss is really keeping up that pressure. Like, the first set, we saw, the first round, we saw a double barrier coming out on this from Mad right there, but they're not able to actually keep up the offense that they want, and they keep losing both of their barriers very quickly in these rounds, as you see another one falling right away.
Yeah, and I mean, AJ has just been doing so well in this midfield, perfectly placing their strikes so that Conqueror has a much easier time to work on that offense, and that banish out by Mad misses, and that means that Boss is probably okay and not losing any barriers, and just as I say that, that barrier does fall.
Yeah, and we're going to see them getting offense again on the side of Boss, but they're instantly going to lose it, but a nice Giga to keep it in. It's going to go against the bot side. Asher ult coming out, not really being that useful, but it does push the core back down.
And there's the flip. Does get saved, but almost owned barriers with that misdirection. Absolutely misdirecting himself there. Now, the big finish out to the opposite side. The Irish trying to follow up, but doesn't really get anything. And, yeah, well, a lot of abilities being burned out of Zentaro, but nothing to show for it.
Yeah, even if Zentaro has all of these abilities, they still are not really finding the offense on the ICBM. But right as I say that, a nice insta-pillar to be able to catch the loose core, and we could see a banished dribble, and it is.
I mean, Mad playing that point out perfectly, right? First getting the shadow swap to move to that bottom side and keep the pillar up to the top, forcing Wipeout Ninja to clear to him, and then the pillar to get that barrier, and then the banish on the goalie too.
Yeah, that was well played by Mad. Props to him to be able to show that, you know, Rune is not one of the worst midfielders in the game. Please don't ruin my character, please.
Yeah, all good, but the flip, oh, it bounces right off the opening goal gate, but Wipeout Ninja still has a flip if he needs it, but actually flubs it and loses the barrier for it. Now Mad is in a great position if he wants to continue this offense, and now Conqueror has his flip right up. Stopped by Musica del Bosque. A great roll, and now these abilities are still just being used on this defense kind of a little bit frantically, right? Looking for some sort of way to save it, and they do get it, but it's really sketchy.
Yeah. The core flip coming out of Dubu right now, right? Like, that's a big defensive tool down, and it could be punished. And as we see right there, right after the core flip, nice shot by the Conqueror to the bottom corner.
Momentum boots would have saved that. All good, but hey, that is a set in favor of Boss, and now Zentaro being rewarded with, well, Catalyst, Egoist. Take your pick of the litter.
Definitely the pick here, especially on these types of stall maps like Oni Village, where you really need that speed, and core flip is going to get you more goals than anything else. Yeah. But we also are going to see Timeless also in the draft here for the Rune. It's going to be a very good pickup right now. Catalyst is still up though. Will Wipeout Ninja actually deny it, or will he leave it? No. And in the end, Asher gets the Catalyst.
Yeah, this is an interesting decision, right? Because Catalyst isn't typically like a favored pick among goalies, but it's really good for forwards, and Shinx getting it, it's a little awkward. Do you think that Orb Ponder pickup is more worth it?
I think Orb Ponder is fine, but the main problem here, right? Like, I feel like this game is going to be reliant on core flips, especially with the Egoist on the Asher right now. Right? Sorry, not the Asher, the Zentaro, right? Yes. It's going to be very, very hard to keep up the core flip economy for both these forwards right now. And you can already see, right? Like, Conqueror is almost at core flip right now, Shinx is almost at core flip right now. Like, these are the people that are going to be getting the core flips. And as I say that also, Conqueror with a nice primary to be able to score the goal.
And hey, that means he has his core flip for the next round, right? It's going to be coming up, unless, you know, he dies somehow. And
it's always possible.
Yeah, they're up, right?
Yeah, but we're going to see Egoist proc in about, hopefully 3 seconds from this strike. No, it's not going to proc, but we're going to see it in a second right now. And there it is, it's procced right now. We see the Zentaro speed, but core flip coming out from Shinx, and a Conqueror also core flipping. Probably not needed right there, but we're going to see the offense come back down right now to the Kai, back down to the corner.
Yeah, Kai kind of positioning really well to make sure that Mad doesn't really get any effectiveness out of their rune pillars. And yeah, Wipeout Ninja just posturing, grabbing more and more orbs to kind of fuel that cooldown orb. Mad shadow swapping forward leaves Shinx kind of on this defense, the pillar working against them, but a great roll by Musica del Bosque means they save it for the time being.
Yeah, and a wonderful banish there, but sadly not able to be confirmed right now. We still have to see a core flip on Wipeout Ninja right now, so any offense that's going to come out right now is not going to be the greatest. We're going to see a core flip come up for Conquer right now. We could easily see the Egoist goal right here.
That's two. Two flips burned, right? But still no goal yet.
Yeah, but there we go. Perfect pass straight to center to Conquer from AJ, and we're going to see... We're going to go to point 3.
Hey, sometimes it's just the simple things, right? Sometimes you don't need all these flashy flips. Just a 1-2 pass is all you need to get it in.
Yeah, and we're going to see an instant barrier fall on the side of ICBM, but another in response, falling from the side of Boss right now, and we're going to see it come back into the corner, and pass up. Dubu ult is not going to do much, but another pass down, and sadly not responded with, and it's going to go into a neutral state again.
Yeah, the flick almost worked, but it looked like Conquer not only psyched out the enemies, but his own teammate, right? And great strike warring means that he does get that barrier. Now, Wipeout Ninja gets it forward, but Shinx is still sitting in this midfield. It seems like very awkward positions for the Rune and the Asher to be. They seem to be kind of swapped.
Yeah, you can even see it in the levels right now on the side of Shinx being level 4. Mad is a full level down, and right there, nice strike war to be able to get that goal.
Yeah.
In this draft, though, there is one main thing that I'm looking for, and that is the pancakes. Will we see it in this draft? And no, we won't. That will still be in the draft for later on, if the side of ICBM can actually win a set, you know? That's something to always look forward to.
Perfect form. All right, and Chrono Boost. They're going to both fall to great users of those Awakenings.
Yeah, Kai getting the Chrono Boost, and Zentaro getting the perfect form. It is exactly what they want right now. Sadly, on the side of ICBM, not the greatest picks here. Your team doesn't make use of many of these Awakenings, so unfortunate draft for them.
Interesting kind of opting for the 1-2 punch over the Siege Machine. I guess the idea is to look for more dribble plays and kind of act as a pseudo hotshot in a way.
Yeah.
Or even look for some of those kills, but Mad hasn't really been going for those banished double pillars.
Yeah, he has been playing it okay right now, but the main thing that's going on is that they just are not getting the offense. Like, I feel like, I know I'm saying this a lot, but it feels like whichever team is able to get offense more often is the one that's going to be scoring more often, right?
Exactly, yeah. And I mean, that flip doesn't really do any favors for them, but that might, as a great pillar interruption by Mad, means that he can score and get a point on the board in favor of Chikara ICBM.
Yeah, that was a great pillar from Mad to keep it in possession right there and then confirm the goal.
Yeah, well, we'll need to see more of that, right? If Chikara ICBM wants to have any hope of reverse sweeping this.
Yeah, but we are, again, going to see Conqueror come close to core flip right now. And on the side of Wipeout Ninja, we're also close to core flips. We'll probably see them come out soon. And hopefully we'll see some barriers fall.
Yeah, we might, and I mean, that's one barrier taken even without the core flip, but you only really need one barrier, and that's a flip. Flip answered, but it's just kind of going all around the world, and well, Wipeout Ninja keeps picking up more orbs, has more of these cooldowns to work with on defense, and that's another flip out by Conqueror in the midfield, a little awkward. The banish means that AJ might actually die here, but no, they don't. They live for the time being. Get it up to Conqueror, and that's the Tofu Fortress popped as well. All of these abilities just going down one by one, but still no barrier to be found.
Yeah, that core flip from Conqueror there was probably a little bit too early, if I have to say so myself. But at this point, they're going to lose the barrier on the side of Boss. The Finny ult going to come out, not send it into the corner, and we're going to see an offense from Boss, see if they can keep it in. If they can keep it in, this is going to be very good. Nice Giga to be able to score that goal right there, but sadly, Mad in the perfect position to score.
Yeah, Mad in the perfect position, and Wipeout Ninja not, right? Stuck on that bottom side after, I guess, taking a lot of damage, I'm assuming from some sort of banished double pillar combo, and then, you know, too low, has to move away, and Mad up top.
Yep. And we're going to see a barrier instantly fall on the side of ICBM. And we're going to probably see a response. It's going to go back to the corner, but if you look at it again, another core flip, right? These core flips coming out a lot. I don't know if they're being very useful, some of them, though, but they are very useful in general, right? But a core flip on a Conqueror is going to come back, and a core flip on a Dubu is not going to be enough,
Oh.
and they're going to lose the barrier because of it.
And I mean, just well played, right? The patience out by Conqueror, just dribbling around and waiting for Musica Del Box to get out of position, and oh, that's the barrage, and oh, it goes right back into the Oni's blade, and that's how Conqueror finishes it off.
Yeah, they really needed that point right there. They do not want this game to go much longer.
Yeah, exactly. You know, getting their Byths, there's not really much option for them to scale, right? Because they've kind of already reached the point at which they want to be.
Yeah,
and
I think
Big Ended here, that's kind of what they want to see.
Yeah, I think ICBM, if they win one of these drafts, it's very likely they could take this game at this point. On the side of Boss, you kind of already have what you want, right? The Chrono Boost on Kai, the perfect form on Zen.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you could see something like a Deadeye or Missile Propulsion on the Finny, but really, there's not much left to ask for. And Shinx has this flip. Mad, it actually sends it up into the corner. A great clear up by Wipeout Ninja means it doesn't go down for the time being. But Path Splitter already popped, and now it's kind of gone over to the other side.
Yeah, it's going to be stuck in ICBM's corner. A Banish is going to come at a Pillar. Is a little bit too close, but it's still going to stay on their side at the same time. And hopefully, on the side of Boss, they can at least hold this. They do have the Finny flip right now. Dubu is going to have flip, but a Strike War loss is going to result in the barrier falling.
Oh, the flip burned by Finny. That means Mad can use it against him on this offense, right? Shinx getting these passes down to Mad. Mad playing these corners so well, and Shinx with a great breakthrough breaks through Boss's defense, and it just slides right past them.
Those are always tilters, seeing a very, very slow core roll into the net.
Yeah, really tough for Boss, and I mean, what is Shinx rewarded with? Not particularly much. Maybe the Rampage, maybe the Stagger Swagger.
Yeah,
right?
There's still no stacks, which sucks, but team players also in draft that can easily fall onto Wipeout Ninja right now, but he's going to go for the Glass Cannon and get more speed. That also makes sense. Hot shots in here for Rune. There's not much on the side of Zentaro besides Explosive, which is good.
Yeah, so Kai denies that hot shot, and I mean, the Explosive goes over to Zentaro, right? Previously, Zentaro actually just didn't have any Dash Awakening. A very strong build despite that, right? The Fight or Flight, the Egoist, the Perfect Form, and now the Explosive Entrance. How much stronger can the Zentaro get?
I am a little bit weirded out by the Ad Rush take on Mad right there.
Yeah, I guess maybe his thought process is like he can start to spec into more of those KOs with the 1-2 punch already, but hasn't really been looking for them that much.
Yeah, maybe just the 1 second cooldown is enough for them, but at the same time, ICBM is going to get an offensive play, take both of the barriers right here, and a nice teleport, but not enough.
Yeah, good teleport, but I mean, Wipeout Ninja is so patient with those, and the big finish getting dropped actually just sends it right back to him, and a great series of interaction wins means that Chikara ICBM loses their second barrier.
Yeah, and this could easily turn as Rune getting a pillar, but not enough to get it into the net right there. And we're going to see another just regular Oni Village game, right? We're just going to see passing back and forth until someone finds an opening right here. Dubu's going to have flip, and he's going to have to use it, but a nice Yice out of the Conqueror to score that.
Yeah, great EI rush, right? Conqueror finishing that off. And I thought that was absolutely secured for Musica Del Boss, but Conqueror just denying that, and now having this flip to work with for the next point actually burns it immediately, you know, thinking that, yeah, this is Egoist, I'm going to get more flips.
Yeah, right? He is going to get another flip right here, especially if they can keep up this pressure right now, just giving Zentaro all these strikes, right, to get even more energy.
Yeah, I mean, reverse Blick and then the barrage means that they do get this barrier, and, well, one barrier might be traded back here, but some great clears into that flip, up to Conquer, and the slice, the dice, right through Dubu's defense, and that's the orbs reset. Yeah,
this is looking very grim for ICBM, right? Like, losing those orbs on the Dubu right now, and look at Conquer, right? He's almost at another core flip right now. He gets that Egoist proc with, like, one barrier fallen. It's very likely that they will lose this set, and the game.
And wow, they actually hold that bottom barrier. They do lose it now, but Matt is a flip actually in front of the net waiting for Shinx to get up to him. Burns the flip prematurely, and he's actually looking kind of low and could be taken off the map soon.
This is Oni Village, though. I don't think he's going to die very easily, right? Especially with only having Finny as a good damage source, right? And they are going to lose the barrier here on the side of Boss, but they do have the Kai, right? The Kai is going to keep it off of their side very easily.
Yeah, but if it ever does fall to their side, right, Shinx has this flip, and that's getting used to the bottom side. Wipeout Ninja not able to react to it, and that is a goal, actually, in favor of ICBM, and they could take things back.
Yeah, if they can keep up this momentum from that last point right there, it's very likely they could win the set and get rewarded for it.
Yeah, and well, we're seeing another offense coming from Chikara ICBM. The Tofu Fortress already being dropped. I guess that is the prowess of the extra special, right, over the fighter flight. But no barriers yet to be found.
Yeah, we're going to see Conqueror with the E-Ghost again, though. It sadly doesn't make use of it that much, but just the threat of it, right? It's so massive. But Mad finding a very good position right there to teleport in and almost take the barrier.
But also, look at Wipeout Ninja's HP, right? I mean, now he's healing back up off of some of these orbs, but he was looking low for a little bit, and Chikara ICBM kind of had to use that chance to capitalize.
Yeah. But again, we're just going to like these neutral states a lot of the time when just nothing's going on. But as you can see on the side of Boss, they kind of just want to feed the Corrin to Conquer and just give him as many flips as possible, or use Barrage to score. But a nice insta-pillar to the side of Mad right there.
Yeah, and I mean, Wipeout Ninja Banished has this flip ready for the open net, and that's the second barrier answered in favor of Boss, and we might see things end right here. AJ continuing to feed this core back. That's the flip. AJ walking back.
Nice pillar.
Continues dribbling. But this is just, it's going so fast, right? This is very scary for the Finny goalie, but just as scary for the Dubu. And that's Boss taking it over Chikara ICBM.
Yeah, that was a very well played from Boss, right? Like, they were able to get the Egos and Zen. HA doing very, very well in the midfield positioning, making use of the Chrono Boost. And Wipeout Ninja, right? He was actually holding it down very well into this comp that actually, like, can easily destroy Finny, right? Like, Rune can easily insta-pillar the the core out, right? He can also just set up pillars. It's very, very hard to deal with, so good job from him.
Yeah, and I mean, well, again, Rune score, we kind of saw it. Obviously, you know, by these redirects. Asher forward, or sorry, Asher midfield is not typically what you'd expect. And I feel like they probably could have run and maybe even won this game if they ran something more like a traditional midfielder, right? I don't know if Shinx has like an Estelle or even like a Juno or Aimee, right, in his arsenal. I feel like if that was paired up with the Rune, it would probably make swift work of the Finny.
Yeah, I never even realized the game because I'm just used to Rune midfield, right? That whenever I see a Rune not in the goal box, I'm assuming it's midfield. So it was interesting to see a Rune score. It was doing some stuff, right? It was doing some great insta-pillars and great setups, but the problem was it kind of lacked, right? It kind of lacked in the defensive department, right? Or even just getting the core to Mad, right?
Exactly, right? A lot of the time, you know, Shinx kind of stuck with no real way to be as mobile as AJ, which is a Kai with Chrono Boost, right? That's going to be around the whole map, and there's not much you can do about it.
Yeah, it's just very unfortunate. I think the first draft almost secured that game.
Yeah, and well, that is Chikara ICBM versus Boss for round 2 of OSAS. We do have one more round for Swiss before we head to the bracket stage for this week's OSAS, which is going to be a little bit smaller, only 8 teams advancing. And I believe Boss has already locked their spot in the bracket stage. Now it's just a question of where they get seated, right?
Yeah. Good for them, Boss.
Yeah, I guess with that, we'll see you guys in a bit. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to round 3 of OSAS Week 8's Swiss round. We have Plink 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 versus Chikara Girls fighting for a spot in bracket stage.
And we're going to be taking to the Taiko Temple. Very similar map actually to Oni, besides the middle part, obviously. And we're going to see probably great picks, right? We can see Rasmus come out here. We're going to see maybe Godzilla, right, on the Mako here. Very good goalie for this map and very popular actually right now.
Yeah, and I mean, another thing, right? So last week, Shadow was playing a lot of Brawler, right? But Shadow, I believe, is also known for their Aimi pick. And we have seen some Aimi Brawler on this map before. So there is a chance that could be picked. We might see something like this Juno Aimi. And yeah, Kazan banned away from the side of... Not Plink Plink Plink, sorry. This is
Chikara Girls.
Chikara Girls, right. Chikara Girls. And then Asher banned away from Katyusha Kurtz on Plink Plink.
Yeah, back to the Aimi thing. If NXT is willing to play it, I think anyone could be able to make it work, right? Very good KO find. That thing has a little too much knockback sometimes. Yeah, and we're going to see Aimi Brawler. I hope it has pummelers. I really do, but I will be fine with anything.
Yeah, and I mean, this Dubu pick, it could be forward, right? I know Kurikan really loves this Dubu forward pick on this map as well, right? They love to kind of cook around with different things, right? And this Rasmus is something I think that Elwick does play as well, right? They're familiar with like Rasmus, X, now Kai, kind of being able to flex between midfield and forward pretty comfortably. And that's now, so that's probably going to be Elwick on the now, and then the Rasmus going to goalie for Katyusha Kurtz.
It would be very interesting, though, to see that Rasmus midfield now goalie. Well, we'll see what it is. It is going to be a Dubu forward, though, and the Rasmus goalie.
Yeah, so we have Stacks, Built Diff, right? And important to note, right, the stacks are going to be taken on Now, Dubu, and Juno, and everyone else opts for the Built Diff. So out of the forwards, Shadow's kind of going to be the only one that'll feel a little sluggish at the cost of, you know, actually being a little bigger.
Yeah, a little bit bigger, getting those kills. I don't know if that's actually going to be the pick, though, because especially on like these brawlers that have a lot of range, right? Being able to have that mobility through stacks is very, very important. Size is good, but it's just stacks, right?
Yeah, it is just stacks, right? And oh, that is the second barrier found in favor of Chikara Girls. Shadow with a great cyber swipe, but doesn't really get anything, and now having no cooldowns to work with. Plink 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 does take this opportunity to push back, but the Ensnare Drums buys them enough time to get that great clear.
Yeah, the Dubu was also going very hard, right? Like that ult right there completely blocking off the clear options, right, from Godzilla. And we're going to see it come back, right? And almost going into the net right there. A very, very close whiplash. Very catch that. Dubu roll, though. Ooh, the Dubu roll.
Yeah, Kurikan with a great Dubu roll. Not only stopping the core, but also stopping Godzilla, right? And then sending it right past the Mako.
Yeah, that is the reason why you play Dubu forward, right? That roll is going to win you half your points. The other half with the ult.
Yeah, and speaking of ults, that is the ult for the Aimi being burned, but they do get a barrier off of a really awkward bounce, and now Elwick moving up to this top side, commits the flip, attempts for the double barrier, but that's a little greedy, and they do get punished for it, losing that flip with nothing, and then now that's the second barrier in favor of Chikara Girls.
Yeah, we're going to see a core flip, though, at a Katsusha to clear that core. But the problem is right now... Oh, a nice body roll. But the problem is right now is they're going against two barriers, right? It is very, very hard to find this if you're going to commit to that flip, right? And we may actually see them get punished right here, right?
Yeah, and I mean, if I'm Plink Plink Plink, I'm just going to try to not use too many resources until they have a good opportunity, and this is that opportunity. They try for that second barrier, but they don't really get it, and now it's being sent to the opposite side, the Glitch Pop being burned on that top side, but Katyusha Kurtz gets a great save, and now the play is still alive, the roll being burned for Dubu, and now Kurikan not in a great position, Elwick moving back to help Plink Plink Plink, and they do save it for the time being. A great clear up by Godzilla up to this top side. They do want to pass to Shadow in some way. The flip available for Arcmeister if they want to use it. They don't use it just yet, and a great strike war means that Kurikan can win, and that's the roll, that's the Tofu Fortress, and that's the goal!
Yeah, the power of Dubu. Tofu Fortress beats all. But the one problem that we're going to see, though, on the side of for Chikara Girls, right? Like, these flips are going to come online right now. And being up 2-0, that can easily change very quickly with a couple core flips.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the flip for the second barrier, right? But Arcmeister still has this for the goal if they really need. and Elwick is looking a little bit low, but I mean, Blink 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 was in a similar situation before.
Yeah, but right now, right, the Dubu is just going to be able to shove the score in. I am very positive we're going to see a Tofu Fortress come out any second now, and this could easily take both barriers.
Yeah, and the strike warring perfect out by Curikin and Elwick, right? But the angle even better out by Arkmeister, and they find that in the top side.
And that's the Taiko jump for you, right? You just find that perfect angle that will hit it Mach 5 into the net. You need to pay attention to that.
Yeah, and I mean, I think even if you pay attention, that's a really hard angle to kind of deal with, right? Because I don't think Yusha Kurtz really has much to deal with, and that's the Tofu Fortress almost getting the second barrier, but Curikin has this flip to work with on the offense. Yeah, that flip is hopefully going to take this barrier here. He does have roll, not going to come out though. We're going to see the, what is it called? The log coming out. Yeah, and Elwick getting a great pass up to Curikin. Just finding these angles, and a missed roll means that they're slightly out of position, but there's the flip. Where does it go? Intercepted by Arkmeister, and now Katyusha Kurtz has a flip on this defense. They might need to use it. And it's stuffed by Shadow, and this might be the offense that Chikara Girls needs. Yeah, at this point, like, it's looking very, very grim for Blink Blink, but they do get the barrier, and they do have a core flip. I kind of regret saying that now, and we're going to see a KO from the Tofu Fortress, and a goal on the side of Chikara Girls. That looked really sketchy. I mean, they killed Godzilla, but then the roll meant that the flip didn't come through for Elwick, but it still worked out in the end. So there's that, and, well, the hot shot, right? Yeah, there's no way this falls to Juno, right? But there's also the 1-2 punch. Yeah, there is a world where this hot shot does fall, but it's not right here. We're also going to see team player 1-2 punch, twin drive, all good general awakenings right here. Juno is going to go with the 1-2 punch, and we'll see what Elwick wants to just go for. Is he going to leave awakenings up? Oh wait, no, he took Castellas. And I'm taking explosive. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Castellas, right? Especially when your start is stacks on stacks. Like, maybe there's some sort of consideration, like if you have a Chrono Boost or a Super Surge or some sort of like Dash Awakening start, getting that Castellas to prolong the speed, it might be okay. Yeah, I think the play was probably just to take the explosive. Yeah, just take the explosive, right? You get more of that speed, and having the stacks, having an explosive, it's really getting Arkmeister stuck in that corner. But still 1-1 in terms of barriers. Yeah, the Tofu Fortress is showing its power right there, right? Like, if you're not able to get it out of those corners, the Tofu Fortress is just going to score itself, basically, right? And same with the roll right here, a roll into the log, almost securing the barrier. Yeah, great clear out by Godzilla means that Chikara Girls' defense is really not breaking through just yet. Yeah, but we're going to see if Elwick can actually clear this core right here. He's bringing back up to the top side, and it's going to go back into the corner, maybe. No, Shadow gets a really nice strike to be able to clear the core, and it's going to come back into the corner. Elwick with flip. Will he look for it? Tofu Fortress is going to come out. Will Elwick flip? He flips, but misses the strike of the core, sadly. And a counter flip out by Godzilla, but they lose the barrier. Yeah, Curikin with the great interrupts, and now Arkmeister on this offense. We have reached overtime, which means Arkmeister's favored, but not when Curikin wins that strike war against Godzilla. Yeah, the Dubu size, the Dubu everything. I feel like this is starting to turn into the Dubu show at this point. Yeah, but let's do a stacks check real quick, right? 124 on Curikin, 116 on Elwick, and then 56 on Arkmeister. Yeah, but like, it's showing the power of the stacks, right? Like, yes, size is good, but stacks is just stacks. Yeah, it is just stacks, right? And now the members of Blink 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 are almost maxed. They'll have that extra speed, but will it even matter? No, it probably... No, I think it will. Right? Yeah, I think it will. Yeah, I forget actually, did Arkmeister die in the set? Perhaps. I mean, that would explain why, but I don't think they did. Maybe they just haven't gotten much of a chance to interact. Yeah, with just strikes, right? But they are perfectly positioned for this flip if they want to use it on this offense. Yeah. They're going to bring this up probably with core flip, hopefully. We'll see if the core flip can actually find the goal, or if the side of Blink 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 can actually defend the core flip coming out. The bottom corner hit the post, but Shadow with this cyber swipe to confirm the goal. That was very messy. First, the missed strike by Katyusha Kurtz, and then it kind of bounces off into a really awkward clear, and then the missed flip, but it finishes up by Shadow, right? Shadow doing a great job to secure what otherwise might have been a bit of a fumble. Yeah, and Tofu Fortress coming out again. Just nothing you can do against that in that situation. Yeah, but I mean, it only takes the one barrier, right? A little, not nearly as bad as it could have been, but we might see a second one here. Great clear out by Godzilla. The flip out by Elwick. Strike Wars need to be won here if they want this barrier, and instead it's a barrier that falls on the opposite side, right? Katyusha Kurtz not in the best position to defend it, and that's Elwick dead. That's one set of stacks reset, and that could be a way to get the second point for Chikara Girls.
At this point, this is going to be Plink trying to get their stacks up, hopefully, off these next 2 points. And if they're able to find that, then they can start looking for these offensive plays again.
Yeah, and oh, a missed strike. Katyusha Kurtz kind of baked out by how fast the slime would send that, and they don't have that strike for that goal afterwards.
Yeah, and the side of Chikara Girls is bringing it back right now, right? Like, the 1-2 punch is actually doing a lot of work here, and especially the explosive entrance. You've seen it a few times already, like the Cyber Swipe coming out and actually finding goals. But again, Tofu Fortress coming out and taking another barrier, and there's a flip on Kukirin.
Yeah, Kurikan still with that flip. Could use it at any point in this offense, but that's a flip burned out by Katyusha Kurtz. A great, perfect pitch to actually kind of stop that. And oh, almost stopped by Kurikan. The flip right into the slime, unfortunately, and that's the barrier lost for Plink Plink Plink.
Yeah, the slime MVP right there. But Arcmeister is going to come up with Core Flip. If they can take this barrier right here, it'd be massive, and they do. Hopefully they can keep it in, and it goes to Shadow, and a nice strike to the bottom corner to end the second set.
Yeah, Plink 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 really losing a lot more interactions than they hoping for at the end of that set, and now Juno first pick. This could be a rapid fire. This could be something else that'd be really great. The fighter flight available too if they want it.
Yeah, this is most likely going to be fighter flight. I don't think you care about taking Catalyst from the Rasmus. After that, though, there's like Timeless Creator for the Dubu is pretty good, even if you can't get Catalyst, right? Stagger Swagger's on board. Yeah, Deadeye is also on board, right? We're going to see Big Fish out of Rasmus as well, and the Catalyst is going to come out in Missile Prop instead of Timeless, and Timeless on the Mako.
I'm not sure how I feel about that, right? I think the Missile Prop is not that bad. Maybe their thought process is, okay, now I can play a little bit more in the midfield and then just kind of set up a wall like that, but you'd rather have a kind of more solid wall that lasts for longer as opposed to that one of those better midfield walls.
Yeah, I think the reason why Mako took it was to deny the now, but I feel like if you wanted to do that, you could have also just gave it to the Yami, but again, it's Catalyst. I guess it's personal preference at that point.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll have to see kind of how things pan out, right? And that is that Tofu Fortress. When you have Missile Prop like that, that Tofu Fortress doesn't really do that much.
It still was very useful there, right? Like, it made it so Godzilla couldn't clear straight to the corner or risk losing the barrier.
Yeah, now Kurikan kind of in this 1v1, but no, it's actually kind of cleared out by Godzilla and Arcmeister. There's the flip. It goes to the bottom side, and now kind of this drum and bass being popped. They could get this barrier right here. Great clear out by Katyusha Kurtz means that Kurikan is kind of left with this core once again.
Yeah, and right here, we have to look at this Dubu, right? If he can get this core and get this roll off, it's very likely it's going to net. And here we go, roll into a log. Sadly, not enough, right? But the Tofu Fortress, right? Kept in by Elwick, straight into the corner. Tofu Fortress wins all.
Yeah, so I think really what we need to see here is we need to see how well Elwick can kind of do in this midfield, right? When Elwick is able to get the core past, it is basically a done deal for Plink Plink Plink. But again, you're playing against double, like, ranged midfield is kind of how I put it, with the Speed Merchant.
Yeah, especially with the Juno Slimes, right? You can't just blind clear and hope that you can win against Slime. You will lose the Slime as well.
And that's the second barrier, right? Two flips for Plink Plink Plink. Elwick looking for some sort of opportunity. That's the flip. Flip burned out by Godzilla, and Arcmeister still has his, but doesn't burn it.
Yeah,
and
it was a good thing.
Maybe that's good. Right?
Yeah, it was a pretty good thing that he didn't, because that was never going to be in his range. And it was a very nice punish from Elwick, right? Seeing Godzilla's core flip very early, and then understanding that you can just strike straight to him, right? It's very unlikely he's going to save with the Dubu right in front of him.
Yeah, a bit of what I like to call maybe an emotional flip there, right? Shadow kind of using that there, doesn't really have it for later, and that's a barrier taken on both sides.
Yeah, but Dubu with core flip back up, but Arcmeister is going to try to keep it away from this Dubu for as long as possible. Core flip coming in on Kasha. Dubu with core flip, but misses strikes, unable to keep it in, right?
Yeah, unable to keep it in, and Shadow almost getting a great glitch pop. Both forwards of Plink 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 stuck in that baby cage, but Elwick and Katyusha Kurtz fighting for their lives on this bottom side in a great roll, but Godzilla gets an even better clear. There's the flip.
Beautiful
stopped.
save. Yeah, that was a beautiful save from Godzilla, but I do think that Dubu probably could have flipped a little sooner. A little bit of greed there.
Yeah, a little bit of greed, and Kurikan, I think that's the not Stagger Swagger, they just kind of healed up because they were looking really low a little earlier, and that's the second barrier taken on the side of Chikara Girls. But now Kurikan has this core, Elwick has this core, but we're in overtime. This Juno should be in a great position here now.
Yeah, the Juno with 1-2 punch is going to probably find a goal here, right? Oh, core flip coming out, going to hit some of the goalie, but a nice save from Rasmus right there. And a Dubu coming up, no body slam to save that, but then a straight core comes straight to Aimee from a nice pass from Arch and into the net.
Yeah, and I mean, plink, 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 right? It's kind of a feels bad for them because they kept on winning so many interactions there. But then there was that one that they lost to Godzilla, and then it got around to the double midfields of Chikara Girls, and kind of that was a done deal.
Yeah, nice kill right there from the Summer Assault. But as you were saying before, like, just one mistake can easily just make you lose the set, right? But Tofu Fortress coming out, nice kill.
Oh god,
nice
that
goal.
Was brutal. We are Tofu Fortressing out here. That's just all I saw there. And,
yeah.
You know, great job by Elwick to also kind of help keep it behind Kurikan and make sure that it doesn't really escape that corner.
Yeah,
and hey, it could be rewarded by
or Monu.
Egoist, Monu, Rapid Fire maybe even, or Surge, because I've heard others like say they love the Surge or Rapid Fire, but opt for the traditional Monu.
Yeah, I'm more of a fan of just taking Egoist here, but I do respect just taking the basic now Monu. We're going to see extra special on Mako and Egoist on the Rasmus instead. I'm surprised that Mako didn't take the Egoist instead. Rapid Fire into Juno. Perfect form on the Dubu. Wow. That's going to give him a lot of cooldown reduction if he can find those dribbles or even just core hits.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing regarding the extra special on Mako, I feel like this could be a really big turning point because a lot of these cages that have been dropped by Godzilla have more or less just completely shut down offenses for Plink Plink Plink.
Yeah, it's stalled a lot of plays right here, and it's probably their biggest reason why they're not getting scored on as much as they are, right? Like, when it gets trapped in the Mako ult, there's not much you can really do besides just break the barrier or just wait it out, right? But a nice spot going in between the center, and then a double barrier followed afterwards.
Yeah, that went from probably one of the worst fumbles of all time to one of the best plays of all time, right?
Yeah,
but it doesn't really matter when Kurikan can kind of get up in your face like that and score.
Yeah, after the double barrier comes back to their side, and Dubu doing Dubu things.
Yeah, Dubu just kind of Dubuing all over Chikara Girls, and well, they're 2 points away from advancing to bracket. It's a great flip out by Shadow, means that they do take the second barrier. We need to see these good clears out by Elwick and Katyusha Kurtz. And now Kurikan is getting taken kind of low. A lot of damage dropped onto them, and they might be taken off. They don't bounce off that top Taiko drone, which means they live for the time being. But oh, a great save out by Katyusha Kurtz. This death touch kind of awkward. They could use it to score, but no, it's just Arkmeister friend flinging on that bottom side.
Yeah, a little bit less movement speed from Elwick made him not catch that pass, and that was a great confirmed by Arkmeister with the Juno Slam to score the goal.
Yeah, now we're 1-1 on this set 4. Kurikan kind of using that role early in this midfield, not having it for this offense, and wow, save Dubu, right? that went right past that Tofu Fortress.
I do think that he's using it a little bit too late. Tofu Fortress is an ability that you really need to use early. If you don't use it early, you will be stuffed out, as you saw right there.
Yeah, and well, Elwick not really having energy to work with and being kind of low. I don't know what the status of their lifeline is right now, but they could be taken off and have these stacks reset.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he has lifeline up right now, but Arkmeister is gonna core flip a little late. Tofu Fortress is going to come out and almost secure the goal, but they still keep offense on the side of Plink Plink Plink, right? There's not much you can really do at this point, and Dubu is going to win a strike war against Godzilla and secure that point.
Yeah, I mean, Dubu winning that against Strike War, but Elwick also with that Monu proximity mine just means that Arkmeister can't really do much in that defensive midfield position.
Yeah, and we're gonna see Aimee drop the turret right away. It didn't accomplish much, but it was a lot of pressure, and it did get them the top barrier in the end, right? Another strike coming out from Shadow, not good enough, but he is going to have core flip coming up soon. The Mako ult is going to be dropped to completely trap Elwick, but they're going to lose the barrier in the process.
Yeah, Elwick just really patient, kind of waiting at that Mako ult and just striking it just on the edge, but that's the second barrier falling. for Plink, and Godzilla has this flip. Kyurem doing everything to stop and does get the barrier for their troubles, and that's the Tofu Fortress finishing off Godzilla. This could be the point right here. Plink could qualify for bracket right here. But Shadow might have something to say about it. Elwick has this flip if they want it.
The flip.
Katyusha needs to get a good clear, but now Godzilla's already back. The flip, where does that go? Bottom
Missed,
side,
but it
doesn't even matter. Kyurem gets it right in, right past Arcmeister. The jump strike doesn't hit it.
Yeah, that was a very scuffed flip angle, but Elwick was able to find the angle to get it to Kyurem. I cannot say that name, and he is able to confirm the goal.
Yeah, I mean, the whole of Plink doing really well tonight, right? Had a few rough fumbles, but hey, maybe we'll see more of that Dubu forward, or hey, maybe that's just a Tycho pick, right?
Yeah. I do like the Dubu pick. I do think it's a little bit less trouble than a lot of people thinking. Picking on a lot more maps, in my opinion. But it is always nice to see a Dubu come out on, on any of these matches.
And I mean, just really, especially when someone knows kind of how to pilot it with a lot of those interrupts, right, on the offense, because it is a little bit different than a lot of these traditional brawlers, where traditional brawlers can just kind of say, all right, I'm just going to force it through. But Dubu usually has to be a little bit more strategic about his interrupts, but when he is more strategic in a way, he can kind of get more value out of it.
Yeah, especially when you have someone like now, one of the better stuff in midfields, right? You just shove it into the corner, Dubu just gets the core, and he's like, this is my core now. And then Tofu Fortresses.
Yeah, well, with that is Plink, right? Making it over Chikara Girls into playoffs, right? Joining, I believe, Chikara Cheating, Meowsy's Self-Esteem Boot Camp, plus Mike Mart's Emergency Van, Boss, Will of B, I believe CFG, Chikara Clinkers, and the winner of Chikara Advent versus Seraphim Oxblood. But that is kind of the end of Swiss, and that's probably the end of the two of us today, me and Tragic. We're going to be having some lovely casters coming in on the other side of this for bracket. Don't go anywhere anymore.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the bracket stage of OSAS Season 8, Week 2. I'm Lego Mage, joined by Fwop Dwop, and we're going to be getting into our first quarterfinals game in just a moment. Chikara Clinkers versus... I have to click on their name like 4 times to open up the full page. Meowsy Self-Esteem Boot Camp, ! Plus Mike Mart's Emergency Van, which is basically just Ristel. So... Fwop, how you doing tonight? How you feeling going into this game?
Oh, I'm feeling great. I'm actually having a pretty good day. I don't know why, I just feeling pretty good. And today's had a lot of fun on a lot of Mega Strikers. I've watched some people play. I've also watched the games before. They seem pretty fun to watch. Pretty fun. Excited to cast. Excited to see them. Especially with like a banger this early on. The Ristel rebranded to the Self-Esteem Bootcamp, and Chikara Clinkers, another veteran team that we've seen for a couple seasons now, with some roster changes here and there, but for the most part it's the same team. So having this early of a this kind of game this early on is a little exciting.
Yeah, it's definitely a pretty tight bracket. I think there's a couple really good matchups in here. I think this upper quarterfinals, these two matches, CFG and Oxblood, and then Clinkers plus the Self-Esteem Bootcamp we're about to see, is going to be pretty contentious. And I feel like rebranded Estelle, if they make it past this match, have a good chance of qualifying. But we'll have to see. Clinkers, with this new roster that they've been running for a bit, has been performing pretty decently. And I think they're also one of the teams that could easily qualify with such a small bracket this week, or such a small pool of teams. There's just some that really are sticking out, and these are kind of 2 of them. So to see them face off this early on is definitely kind of gonna be interesting. But we're gonna be getting into game 1, Night Market, as we get into the pick and ban phase here. Is there anything you think we should be looking at in particular? I know we can't see the starting awakenings, but it's like a Juliet next ban coming out, so
Pretty standard. Both those brawlers a little bit dominant on this map. Holy, we might be seeing the Dubu forward. That's not something you typically see. Night Market's really easy to get that damage. The lanes put the damage naturally out onto the brawlers and the midfielders. And yeah, we're actually going to see it. The Dubu has been locked. The Dubu forward pick. I'm going to assume that's a Dubu scorer.
yeah.
It could also be a midfield though. If it's I don't know, if it's a stacks or something, maybe it's a midfield. But we have the Luna, so I'm not really sure about the Self-Esteem Bootcamp's comp here. I don't know how the Dubu and the Luna function together. I guess if the Luna can cover the outclear, Dubu gets what he wants to do, which is just kind of be a wall. But I gotta say, I'm a much bigger fan of Clinker's team, even before seeing this last pick. The Rasmus and the Kai are both kind of staples on this map, the Era being the midfield pick for the longest time. So I'm a little bit leaning towards Clinkers, but we've seen Ristel, especially. Ristel's not new to picking these silly little picks and making ways to just make it work.
And Adrush Deadeye start as well here. This is Cajone's Era goalies, the strike shot Era goalie. I think Cajone is the one who is kind of known for doing this in OSAS. So a little bit of a comfort pick, I guess, as much as Era goalie can be comfort for the side of Chikara Clinkers here. But triple Deadeye, I mean, Deadeye Adrush is kind of a weird start to begin with, especially when you ban out 2 of the characters that like Adrush the most. So triple Deadeye over on the side of Ristel is interesting, to say the least, with this comp. It feels really weird, but like you're saying, Ristel does weird stuff. They were doing a lot of weird stuff last week with their other goalie. So I'm curious to see how it's going to end up panning out for them, but I have to agree. I do like Clinker's comp here just a lot more. It makes a lot more sense.
Absolutely, and we do kind of see just this first set going kind of in the way of Clinkers. Captain might die here. being forced to like play a little bit safe, but even still, you don't have a lot of confirm. Oh, never mind. I said that, but the Lunar Rocket failed. Oh, good play by Vic there. But yeah, we can kind of see it is in the hands of Clinkers. They've got it pretty comfortably up, but Luna and the Mako do scale decently well. Luna especially, and I guess Dubu does as well, if I had to guess. I'm not really sure. I don't really know what you're looking for. Like, maybe they're just looking to play better, and if so, I'm down for it, you know? But it is going about as we expect.
Yeah, I think a part of it that, at least for like what Ristel is looking for, is they all took the Deadeye. I think they just need to try and kill Captain Yes as much as possible. And then from there, they'll kind of be able to just close the gap on the power play, because Dragonlance Fan does have pummelers as well for the speed boost on the power play. And with Kai being such a low stagger character and being a triple Deadeye start, Mako and Luna can really pump out damage, and I think Meowsy is just kind of there to knock people off the wall if Kahone gets a little too far back in that goal box. But it's going to be kind of on them to not let Chikara Clinkers just bully them with the core like they're doing right now, literally just keeping it on Ristel's side of the field. They can't do anything about it. Which, I mean, with Kai and Rasmus is going to be a somewhat easy task for Clinkers, as well. We'll see if Ristel's able to scale out of this, but so far it looks like Clinkers is could handedly take set 1 in just a bit.
Absolutely, and that was a bit of an unfortunate flip there. Great Giga from Captain is going to save it and keep this in play, and this is looking a little worried with Meowsy almost dead, not really able to confirm anything. If this NATO finds the damage it needs, or if they manage to find this kill and Clinkers makes that power play, it's not even really a power play. You'll just win that 3v2 pretty easily with the haste buffs that you're getting from all 3 of your characters, and the gate control. You know, any kill really on this map is that was scary. Way more effective than on any other map, just because of the gate. Like, you just get to control the gate, and I mean, it's like 500 speed you get. It's insane.
Both goalies doing a pretty good job of holding it down right now. I'm liking the reactions in the midfield. Meowsy, though, pushing up, has the soup. Kahone, a beautiful Soren angle, able to clear it out, but gets taken out by the Rocket. Dragonlance Fan will be able to capitalize. Some great decision-making from Clinkers on the defense, but got caught standing a little bit too close to the wall there. That Pummeler's Deadeye Luna, those Rockets will absolutely knock an era off the edge like that.
Absolutely, and both barriers fallen for the side of okay, both barriers and the goal fallen in, so that's Clinkers taking the first set pretty decisively. There's a lot that could be in this draft. You know, the Rasmus getting some size is really going to make Mako's life miserable, but high with things like Chrono, Aerials, Stacks, and then obviously, you know, the Egoist pick here. That could also be very brutal for the side of the Self-Esteem Bootcamp.
All 4 Dash Awakenings are in this draft right now as well, which if anyone's looking to get those, I mean, now is kind of the time. The Aerials will go over the Kai, the Orbs on the Mako. We got Stacks on the Era, and Stagger Swagger actually made its way all the way down to Meowsy, which there's a lot of like really good Awakenings in that draft, so it makes sense. But part of me feels like Clinkers maybe should have just taken that on Captain Yes, just so that like the Kai won't get staggered and you can continue to kind of bully Meowsy when they're up in the goal arc. But we'll see. It's definitely a really big boon here for the Self-Esteem Bootcamp. Definitely going to boost Meowsy's self-esteem for sure to have that Awakening. And we'll see right here, both barriers down for the side of Clinkers as well, they're looking to make something happen.
Yeah, they will find both those barriers, getting the trade and a bit more of keeping this ball up here with the haste and everything, and it's going to reset. I think they're fine. They don't have a lot of... Oh, never mind. The Lunar Rocket has found Keone and pushed him into the net. Oh my.
That's really good snipe there from Dragonlance Fan, and that resets the pancakes as well. Keone didn't have like a lot, but it's still it's pretty bad to have to totally restart on stacking that Awakening when it's really the only Awakening that they have, because Ad Rush is not doing too much for them. 1 second cooldown is not like a lot. So really, we're just working with stacks on stacks here for the most part. So every time Kahone gets sniped by Luna Rocket, it's going to be pretty devastating. But both barriers down once again for Ristel. But there's the KO. The power play from Meowsie's Self-Esteem Boot Camp. Dragonlance fan moving fast. One barrier down. Vicblade trying to buy some time and run out of there. Looks like Captain Yes will be back online here as things will get reset back to neutral a little bit.
And this NATO is really your only way of farming that stacks, like you were mentioning. Some characters are just better at farming stacks than others, and Kahone's only real way is to get NATO plays. It can be a little hard to do on this map, especially without them on you.
Nice core flip to get it out of here. But 2 flips up. Meowsie gonna burn it here in the bottom corner. Kahone! The reactions will die for it. And the boost into insta-flip from Dragonlance fan will find the score. Kahone has... Every time Kahone makes a crazy save, they immediately get KO'd by something. I think that's like 3 or 4 times now. And the Pancakes, once again, back to 0. Meowsie's Self-Esteem Boot Camp, I think they have located their win condition. It is keep Kahone dead when possible, and let Dragonlance fan fly with the speed boost, and you will be fine. And now both barriers down here. It's going to be an easy strike war from Meowsie to just sink it right in, and just like that, 3-0, Meowsie's Self-Esteem Boot Camp will be able to tie it up.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that could be in this draft here. We'll take a look, and honestly, not that much. You got Rapid Fire. 1-2 is going to be what Dragonlance fan seems to be wanting, which makes sense. You know, if you're going to go for those kills, you can just like kind of burst someone and then let your Mako and your Dubu finish them off. But Era did get Monumentalist, and those NATOs are a little bit more problematic now. You know, taking up more of this lane and being able to just like force these interactions in the corners, that could be something to worry about. And then honestly, if we can get the Dubu to Rampage, get these Rampage stacks up, that could also be problematic. I don't really know how he does with size. I'd imagine he does fine. Had a similar role of like an X or something.
Yeah, Dragonlance's got the 1-2 punch though, which, considering how like deadly these rockets have been, a rocket into boost with the Super Surge might just KO someone from like halfway across the map. Like that combo, or like even if you hit someone with the Crater Maker and then boost into them, it's gonna knock them really, really far. So it's definitely something to watch out for here if they're able to make that happen. But both barriers down. Bit of a defensive war here for Dragonlance. Meowsie having to fall back, help out a little bit. Kahone trying to keep the core back up. That's the flip to work with, but we'll keep it held down. The Snare Drone's coming out there from Dragonlance to buy a little bit of time. Captain ES pushing up on the top side. Not going to quite be enough for NATO to try and send it back in, but Dragonlance fan going to push it up. The core flip from Kahone. We'll send it through, and there's the Giga Blast from Captain ES. A very favorable angle there. We'll get around Dragonlance, and that's Clinkers going to be first on the board.
Yeah, I would kind of like to see Clinkers play a bit more aggressive with this Rasmus, with this Kai, like these characters that just want to stuff you. Kind of feels like we're not seeing a lot of that happen. You know, like we are seeing like these like occasional plays, but I think like you can kind of just stuff this Mako and stuff this Luna, especially the Luna. Like Mako might be a bit of a challenge, but you've got the Rasmus for the hit stun, and then you got the Barrage, you got the Giga, you got secondary, or the Rasmus. Like, there's a lot of options you have to kind of just brute force your way through this game, and I don't feel like we're seeing a lot of it. We're kind of like, maybe it's because we're low, maybe we're like worried about dash punches from Luna. Not really sure what's happening, but I'd like to see a bit more aggression.
Yeah, Vicblade though actually taking a lot of damage here. Dragonlance fan does find the boost, but nothing to proc the 1-2 punch yet. Both of them are just trying to play for their lives. Captain Yes, as the flip up, is just able to get it around Dragonlance here. Little bit of a defensive disaster there from Meowsie's Self-Esteem Boot Camp. And now that's a 2-0 comfort zone here. Chikara Clinkers may just be sweeping another set, which not what you would ideally want to see here if you're a Meowsie's Self-Esteem Boot Camp. I am a little bit surprised. Like you mentioned, there's a bit of a lack of aggression from Chikara Clinkers, but there's also a bit of, I was going to say, a lack of KOs coming out from Meowsie's Self-Esteem Boot Camp, but as soon as Dragonlance fan saw the opportunity for the dash punch, they took it. And that guy just flew across the map. So there's that, I guess.
That Crater Maker, about like half HP from Kione. And we're not even fully scaled yet. It's a little scary. We'll have to see what that leads to in the future. Captain kind of playing it down in this corner. Not a lot you can do though when you've got the Dubu and the Mako back.
Yeah, it's definitely rough. Another KO now coming out from this Luna on what is possibly the most like disgusting Luna build. I think they've realized that they can really start to take advantage of the awakenings that they've got. Like this Luna can hit really hard from really far away. And there's not a lot that Captain ES or Vicblade or even Kahone can do about it whenever Dragonlance fan kind of feels like picking up a KO here. Fine, I guess we'll get one barrier picked up here, but just continue with the you know what I'm trying to say. You say what you were going to say. I forgot.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah, I kind of mentioned this aggression, and beautiful NATO's gonna find something, and it's kind of because this Dubu and the Luna really thrive if they're able to get the ball up in front of you, but like from afar, they don't really got much for you. Regarding that, we got a lot of damage coming here. Another kill! Oh my god, Vicblade a little low, but the Flip's gonna find that barrier, and this might be set for Clinkers.
Captain Yes trying to get it through Meowsy, but Meowsy doing a good job stalling. Kahone up in the top corner. The Ensnare Drum's coming through, sets up the NATO. Meowsy able to clear it out of there. And Dragonlance fan is back online, boosts in to try and reignite the offense, but Dragonlance is not looking good as Captain Yes trying to push back up the field. Going to overtime. Corflip's got to be burnt here. He's going to get KO'd for it, though. But the Core doesn't get out quite in time, and now Meowsy's going to have to become the new goalie on the Dubu. But Vicblade, a nice setup with the Whiplash, will be able to win the strike war out, and that's taking the set for Chikara Clinkers. They'll be up 2-1 now. Kahone, the MVP. I'm not sure what is going to be left. We do have the extra special Catalyst in perfect form showing up here. Also Fight or Flight. Potentially going to kind of be some awakenings to look out here for.
Absolutely. And the Happy Star are going to fall to this Stacks Adrenaline Rush Monumentalist era. Guy's been finding a couple kills with the NATO. That's a little concerning in the Self-Esteem Boot Camp. And then also Captain picking up the Fight or Flight. That's also Captain has the capability of gliding. He's got the Fight or Flight, the aerials, the twin drive. Looking a little strong, that build. And I don't really know what you pick. I guess Siege Machine helps Meowsy a lot for similar reason of like missile prop stuff. But, you know, again, you still got to just get the ball forward, which seems to be the main problem.
Yeah. I think that was a weird draft for a couple reasons. But, like, Dragonlance fan kind of felt like they needed to deny the size from the Rasmus. But no one went perfect form. Which, I don't know. I found that a little bit odd. There are a lot of really good awakenings. I mean, like you said, though, the Fight or Flight on Captain Yes is going to be huge, especially with how much damage Meowsy's Self-Esteem Boot Camp is able to kind of pump out. Every time they get staggered, they're going to have the speed boost right back up. Well, a nice little play there, actually, with the Barrage to sink it in. But, yeah, it's definitely a really good awakening to have there.
Absolutely. I do agree, the perfect form. Bit of a shame it goes. I think if you also look at it, most of these characters don't really apply it very well. Maybe the Era, Kai, Can, Mako, but like even then, like those aren't like characters you really think like, oh yeah, that's a perfect form. And this NATO, I have a feeling it's going to be big. It was not. I was wrong. My bad.
Not the greatest, unfortunately, but the ability's getting burnt on this top side. The Ensnare Drum's getting used here. Corflip coming out from Kahone. And Captain Yes not looking too healthy right now. The NATO coming through. Meowsy looking low, but Dragonlance fan will pick up the KO. It's a power play for Ristel. They're pushing up on this bottom side. Kahone trying to find a way to get out here, but Dragonlance is up in the midfield on the top side. They just got to buy some time. The NATO will be nice. Get it out of that corner as Captain Yes comes back online. Pass up to Vicblade here, but Dragonlance is there. Ready, but the second time won't be good. The strike war will be won by Vicblade. Now they're looking to potentially set up a score here. Snare Drum's coming out once again as the NATO pushing it through. Meowsy trying to get it out, but Captain Yes holding on to the core, trying to force it through three of them, but seems to have infinite attempts as Ristel just can't get it out of here. A hook is denied away. A Dragonlance fan As finally looks like Rastel's able to get back to the midfield. The NATO once again off cooldown. Corflip comes out from Dragonlance. We'll get it past the barrage, but no one's over there to capitalize it. Kahone just keeps sending it back in. Meowsy will be able to get over in the corner, but Captain Yes runs pretty fast, but Dragonlance fan finds the dash rocket. And now another power play for the side of Meowsy Self-Esteem Boot Camp. Corflip from Vic Blade, shot to the bottom. A beautiful and snare drums will catch it. As they will stay alive for just a bit longer here, but they can't get any real offense going. The soup coming out, but the pumpkins aren't enough. However, Meowsy with the roll will pick up that second barrier finally, and another KO from Dragonlance fan. Boost into Whammy. We'll find it, and Meowsy with the dribble on the log will be able to sink it in. Meowsy Self-Esteem Boot Camp will take the point now. 2-1 in a bit of a long one there, but they eventually get it done.
Absolutely, and it kind of seemed like we forgot about that to Luna. You know, the dash punches started coming out again. You know, that double dash punch, finding the 2 kills of what I think were the only 2 kills of that round. And in overtime, when you have those longer respawn timers, it's a bit rough. You really can't be letting that happen. Oh, good primary by Vic Blade, reading that clear.
And now Kahone making the decision to bring it to Captain Yes, but Meowsy gets the speed gate and actually is able to get up there in time. We'll be picking up a barrier for that. The soup coming out will deny the NATO. Take the second one as well. And Meowsy Self-Esteem Boot Camp looking to potentially clear the spot. Another nice pendulum swing from Vic Blade, though. Brings down the second barrier. Can receive the core once again. Has the whiplash up. Pushing in. The snare drums can't get out in time. And that's Chikara Clinkers. They'll be tying it up. This 2-2 match point and set point, respectively. Clinkers could just end it all right here.
Absolutely. Meowsy does have his flip coming up soon, so there is that to be aware of, but also Vic Blade has his, and Vic Blade has the Egoist to work with. Also Keone doing a bit of energy printing right there. Gonna get his flip up, and Vic Blade, beautiful hook to find that bottom barrier.
Oh, and a nice barrage with Dragonlance making a really nice clear there. Meowsy with the core flip, but running out of options as the NATO approaches. Vic Blade will be able to find it, covering that bottom side. That was a bit of an unfortunate clear from Dragonlance fan. They sent it right into the death touch that was just sitting in front of them, and everything kind of collapsed from there, unfortunately. Chikara Clinkers, a really nice performance, and they will be taking the win and moving on to the semifinals, where it looks like Seraphim Oxblood is already waiting for them. So we'll be having a Seraphim Chikara showdown over in the semifinals.
Absolutely, and you know, it's a bit unfortunate to see a team like Meowsy Self-Esteem Boot Camp to get out early, but that's kind of just how it is. I'm sure they'll be back next week. Plenty of chances left, and regardless, they both played well. And it was 3-1, and it was like the last set was like 1 point away from being like 3-2. You know, fun games though. So I believe we'll be going over. Do we know what game we're going to? I assume we'll be going to Boss versus Chikara Cheating.
I think so. Yeah, it looks like that started. So, yeah, Boss versus Chikara Cheating will be the next match over in the semifinals. Boss currently 4-0, went undefeated in the bracket stage. And they got some pretty good players on their team. So I'm curious to see. This is gonna be another pretty good match as well, because Chikara Cheating also is a pretty notable team, to be sure. Been around a while, and
both these rosters kind of having pretty noticeable names.
Yeah,
probably the biggest being Bloody Blossom. You know, played in a couple Osises. Very active in the community. The Conqueror is also another one. But also the entirety of Chikara Cheating roster. I believe we've seen this roster for multiple seasons now, right? And this is same. I believe it's Brando,
yeah,
IDC, and then Kuriyami.
Yeah, that's looks like what they've got over on the thing. Yeah, also as well, this AJ guy, AJSK, is pretty good. They're a pretty notable midfielder. They got a really mean rune as well. So that's definitely someone to be looking out for in this match. I assume Asianator Jr. is Wipeout Ninja. But I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it is. But Yeah, and both these sides have really, really nice rosters of players on here. I'm curious to see. It looks like it's going to be an AtLab game. So really anything can go. I'm not too sure what to expect here in terms of like, you know, what picks and stuff are going to be seen, because I mean it's AtLab. You can kind of do anything you want and get away with it, which is nice because it'll leave a lot of things open for players to kind of do whatever they're whatever they want to, their skill expression and all that jazz. So I'm excited for this one. I think it's gonna be a good one.
Absolutely. And we also got pretty interesting picks. You mentioned the Rune for AJ, which Rune is one of those I feel like tends to either get banned or they let it through. Just 'cause it kind of, Rune's really hard to play into. Like, honestly, that character kind of just feels bad. Especially if it's a good Rune player. You're just like, man, I'm like suffocating. I have no available clears. Like, he just like instantly strikes the core if I throw it somewhere. If I play it in the corner, he puts it up, and now I'm stuck in the corner. It just feels awful. So I assume we'll probably see a Rune ban.
We could. I think starting Awakenings are going to matter here a lot as well. But AJ does have other characters. The Hovering the Kai right now is also another notable one. This guy's got a pretty mean Kai. He's just a really good midfielder in general, which is a pretty big boon for a boss, to be sure. Looks like an Era ban potentially, though, coming out from the side of boss. I think they want to run the X, so it makes sense that they're looking to ban the Era. Juno coming on from Chikara cheating. Not sure what that tells us, but Juno will be banned as there's the Kai coming out. Looks like it could be a Finny X to finish out boss's roster is cheating. Making their selections now. I think if you see a Kai, I don't think there's anything in particular. They actually picked the Rune, which is kind of crazy. So Rune and Rasmus for Chikara cheating.
I wonder if that's a Rune goalie.
Hold up. Let me look at this again.
I'm looking at Chikara cheating, and I don't think they have a Rune midfield, do they? Like, I don't think I've ever seen it. I mean, it could be like new.
For some reason, I mean, honestly, I don't remember. There's too many players in this league to like keep track of everything. So I don't know. We'll find out in a second, though. There's the Asher, so it could be a Asher goalie actually in Rune midfield. Actually, no, it's IDC on the Rune goalie. Has the eject button is a very unusual pick for Rune goalie. It's usually just boots, but it's a fight or flight start all around. So this is gonna be an interesting game for sure.
Absolutely, and in a game like this, I think it really will just come down to what team plays their comp better. Striker Rasmus, I'm going to assume, is be filling this midfield role, letting Brando do whatever he wants to do. And I'm a little worried. I don't know how you as a Rune deal with an X. I feel like that matchup must be awful. Because he just stands on you and he kills you, and if you don't have primary, you're like cooked, you know?
Yeah, because I mean, most of the time, like, you have to get the core before with your pillar before it ever gets to him, because otherwise you just can't form the pillar where he's standing. And between Bull Rush and X Maximus, he's got ways of kind of dealing with the potential like double strike thing that you can do. We'll see, though. A nice little play there from IDC. Striker Rasmus getting kind of bopped around the world right now. The core stuck on the goal line, but the defense does come through for once. However, AJ able to get back around and force the barrage through. And we'll be first point on the board here for Boss.
Absolutely, and we're kind of seeing a bit of this kill comp here for the side of Boss. Work towards, I mean, just dumping all their damage into Striker Rasmus. You know, you might think like, oh, we're gonna put it into this Asher, but the Asher secondary actually makes her kind of tanky, a little bit hard to kill. But you just put all your damage into Rasmus, and what's he gonna do? Run? It's like 35% ace. Not very good.
Yeah.
You just play your 2v3.
Yeah, and with everyone taking fight or flight as well, you know, staggering people is going to be pretty valuable for getting the Kai speed boost back, getting the Finny secondary back, and getting Bull Rush back quite a lot. But with Conqueror currently dead, it's might be a little bit of trouble here. Some nice stalling there, but both sides are open. They will get a KO off the Black Hole, so the power play will get reversed. And now the Conqueror going to have to fight the Pillar here, but the Pillar is a little bit too strong. AJ pushing up with Core Flip, has a speed boost, burns the flip right on the goal line. And with no cooldowns left, IDC not really able to commit anything to that. Not going to burn a Core Flip that close to the goal line. You're likely to miss it. So, Boss now up 2-0.
Absolutely, and you have to be a little worried. There's not that much survival in the draft outside Stagger Swagger now. I guess Reverb. And maybe Unstoppable or something, but I don't think that's going to do you anything here. Striker Rasmus looking very low, and it's very troublesome for Chikara cheating here. Down to that point.
Yeah, their defense tends to be falling apart just a little bit here. And a KO coming out once again. Conqueror just standing up there, looking to potentially win a strike war. IDC going to win that one, but Brando's just looking to buy a bit of time. They can't get the second barrier down yet, though, and the longest respawn timer of all time will allow the Conqueror to sink it in off the power play there. 3-0 set for the side of Boss. AJ, the rightful MVP, was putting in a lot of work there, getting a lot of core control, and will be rewarded with something good. Looks like you're going to be opting for either the Perfect Form or the Happy Star. Might just take the Happy Star to deny the banish from the rune, it looks like.
That's certainly valuable. You don't want to like let this rune get too out of hand, because eventually they will just be able to kill Conqueror, especially with the banish combos, or Conqueror will just never have flip. Neither of them are really like ideal scenarios, but Glass Cannon, Perfect Form, that's a little scary. And then also Kai can now kind of just offer his Giga for damage if he wants and not like feel too bad about it. Doesn't feel too bad about it anyways, but now like because of that Happy Star, you're really comfortable just supporting that damage. Oh, goodbye Asher.
Now it's taken off the map here. IDC looking for a little bit of retaliation, but not quite able to find the Pillar setup on the Conqueror there, and that's that second barrier falling down. Brando is back for the defense, but AJ and the Conqueror are looking to do a bit of conquering themselves. Asian Jr. Favorable Sad Boys angle right there. The core getting a little bit out of hand now. Striker Rasmus almost getting launched off the map. The Finny ult's going to pop. And now AJ bringing it up to the top side. X Maximus gets popped. That's one KO here. And just Okiing IDK right now. Conqueror able to get the core. Burns the flip and sinks it in. Boss. 4 in a row for them. And it doesn't look like they're going to be slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah, you're kind of just running away with the game, and I don't really know what differences you need to make other than to just live more. That really is what this game's going to come down to, is can Chikara cheating find the way to survive? Can they find the rotates, play around the orbs, you know, manage their evades properly? And if you can, game's winnable. In fact, it's quite winnable, but like without, you have to find it. That is a very difficult thing to do, even for higher tier players. So
yeah, it's definitely looking pretty rough here. A nice KO from Striker Rasmus, but it is an open goal and AJ's still alive, which means you got to be pretty careful. IDC gonna banish just the core there. As the Asianator just looking to buy a little bit of time here. Conqueror back online, but now it's AJ who's getting taken out. Still the power play going with the side of Chikara cheating. Brando not looking too good at the moment though, but they're not able to really capitalize on this at all. They can't quite reach the core. Finally, Striker Rasmus able to land a pendulum swing here. And the Conqueror, though, immediately KOs the Asher. And now yet another power play for the side of Boss. Of course, getting burnt here is AJ looking to make the pass, but the Conqueror doesn't even need to touch it. It's going to sink right in. IDC not quite fast enough with the eject button pick. And, well, there's another one for Boss.
absolutely, and while we do see some, like, Chikara cheating managing to fight back a little bit, find some KOs here, it's very rough. This comp has to expend everything they have. They have to expend the Rune ults, you know, probably going to be needing some confirm from your Rasmus. There's a lot of, like, you just don't have the abilities to score afterwards, as opposed to this Boss comp, kind of just, yeah, I mean, here we go. You know, you find the kills pretty easily. X is going to whittle you down, you know. Pike, Finny don't really need to expend much to kill you. You know, a primary here and there, you know, a Finny secondary, and then X cleans up, and you still have stuff to score with and to play that power play. Because of that, X could honestly pick up Egoist here. You could also go Ad Rush and just play towards their win con more. Egoist is also fine, though.
Yeah, I think Egoist is just a really good pick in general. Hotshot, gonna go over to the Kai. We'll deny it away from the Rune, who will go for the Twin Drive instead. Will be a little bit handy, but not exactly a game-changing awakening there, I don't think. Pancakes for Asianator Jr., who is already on the fastest character in the world, so that's just even... Like, this is Fight or Flight, Glass Cannon, stacks on stacks Finny. Even with the Mom Boots nerf, like, this guy is going to be moving exceptionally fast, which is kind of disgusting right here. So Boss they were playing better to begin with, and now they just got even more tools to effectively continue their snowball. So I think there's a very good chance that they just kind of have this one in the bag.
Absolutely, and Cheating, looking like they're kind of struggling to confirm this kill on Conqueror, which is really not what you need. You need to be able to confirm these. Conqueror managed to find a blood of his own, and he's fine. He's going to stagger back. That Banish will not stop him here.
Able to pick up the orb now. Some damage onto AJ, but they have the power play here. Boss looking to bring down this barrier potentially. Pillar's in the way. All three members of Cheating going to be back there on the defense to hold it down. But AJ, getting staggered for AJ just means that he gets a charge of his secondary back. So he can literally pop it and then run around the map and pick up all the orbs. And then be back to full health, which is kind of crazy. And another KO here onto Brando is going to mean Boss half the power play yet again. And they're looking to just score. The Banish comes out from IDC, sets up the Pillar. That's just a little bit of time to buy for Brando to come back online. Nice hook from Striker Rasmus to keep things under control, but they need to find a good setup to find that barrier. The Whiplash will do it. Going to pop, has to burn the Pillar to get it out of there. And IDC, a little bit of an unfortunate angle, couldn't quite get down there in time to be able to block that one. As yet another point here for Boss. And I mean, this is just looking to be a shutout.
Yeah, we don't have much. Kind of need to see some life from Cheating here if they're going to make this comeback. With these flips coming up, they might be able to find something, but Rasmus will need to live, and I mean, that's not looking like a good way to live.
Yeah, not living, indeed. Asianator Jr. now just walking up, dropping the Finial here as AJ can try and get the core up to this X. Give him as many tries as he needs to eventually get it past this Rune here, and eventually AJ just be able to bring it in himself with the barrage. Jakar Cheating just totally out of options at this point, and 1 point away here for Boss from moving on and taking that qualification spot.
Absolutely. Conqueror, Conqueror playing a bit like a demon himself, kind of just chilling up there, doing his own thing, not really dying very often. And when he does get the ball, Cheating, found some life. That pass was not cut. AJ hitting the sorry, he knows what happened. But yeah, I mean, like, honestly, even there, the Cheating saw some life, but it really was just AJ misstepped for the first time in what feels like the entire game.
Yeah, and, relying on the enemy team to make mistakes like that is not a consistent way to be able to win. But, hey, Cheating put themselves on the board, which means it's not a shutout. They can say that they did not get perfected, but if they want to win this, this is full reverse sweep mode time. And with the 2 core flips, basically, well, 1 core flip, basically, to work with, Boss could very well just end this out. But the KO is getting traded, though. It is a 2v2. Conqueror having to fall back here. The barrier will fall. Both sides are opened up. Midfield and Brawler will be coming back online shortly here. Brando back up, and there's AJ. The Banish coming out from IDC to keep it held in the midfield. AJ looking to bring it up. The Giga Blast trying to pass it up to Conqueror here. IDC teleports to drop the Pillar, but can't get back in time, even with the eject button. And the Conqueror will be able to close this one out. 3-0 for Boss, and they will be making it to qualification, and we'll see them in finale.
Absolutely. Jakar Cheating will be sent down to the 3rd place tiebreaker, where they'll be playing against either Jakar Clinkers or Seraphim Oxblood at the end of that for the 3rd qualification spot. I think we might need to see a different comp come out. I'm really looking at it, I don't think the Rasmus and the Asher forward works. Maybe the Rune works. I just think the Rune needs some midfielder that can actually support him, right? Just because he needs a bit of time to kind of set up. He's very tower defense-ish like that, where he kind of needs, you need a couple routes, you know. Gotta set up the monkey farms, the banana farms.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the eject button is also kind of a questionable pick there, because it didn't do anything. Like, Rune kind of has a built-in eject button already, so it feels better to like either take the speed or even just take the strike shot just to have strike shot. But I think the fact that IDC got 6,666 damage exactly might be an omen that this was not it. So, I don't know. I agree, though, that I think the comp needs to be rethought. The double brawler here, even with Rasmus being kind of like a pseudo midfielder, it's not enough, especially when you're against AJ on Kai, who can just cover so much ground and is kind of really good at positioning anyway. It's definitely a rough situation for cheating to be in. But they'll have another chance in third place tiebreaker. But moving on to Seraphim Oxblood, Jakara Clinkers. I think this is Seraphim Oxblood's first time making it to bracket, I think, if I'm not mistaken. They have a little bit of they've been around for a bit, but they have a new roster that they're running with Lilas on midfield, Knight on forward, who is their new forward, and Sune who is a new goalie for them. So I'm curious to see how this performs. Looks like they went 2-1 in Swiss stage, and obviously they won their last match. So this could be a pretty interesting game here as well.
Absolutely, both teams 3-1. So sitting pretty comfortably, you know. And I do believe you are right about that. Oxblood, if it's not their first time, it's not their first time. They're not frequents. So we'll have to see how they pair up to Clinkers, who is a team that actually pretty consistently makes bracket, I believe. Typically always among top 8, regardless of how many teams entry, or at the very least very close. And also one of the more experienced teams, I'd say. They've been around, they play a lot. Also, too soon. That is Suseki. If you're familiar with that, which I am, actually.
Yeah, that guy's been around a little bit, but first time playing on this team here. And Lilas, normally the brawler for this team, has recently switched to midfield and let Knight take over that role after their goalie made it to Challenger, so was no longer able to play, so they had to do a bit of a roster change up. And this is where they ended up landing. But Nightmare bringing out the Rasmus here, and Lilas hovering the Vice. This looks like this could just be a damage game from Seraphim. Jakara taking a minute to make their decision on their double pick. Looks like Era Asher. I think that's pretty standard stuff here. Asher's really good on this map. Era is going to have to be careful when dealing with this Vice and the damage. And Lilas is able to pump out here. And too soon, it might just be going an Atlas angle or something. Even a Mako angle could be fine. I don't think they need to do anything too fancy on the goalie pick. Going for Dubu, the tried and true. There's the wall to hold it down, and there's the X. So we got Era X for Clinkers with Asher goalie.
Okay. Is it?
It's another Era goalie.
Okay.
No, it's Asher goalie.
Okay, I'm about to say.
I forgot that Kahone was in this game, I'll be honest.
Yeah. I also forgot. I just thought about it. But we do have a Might of the Colossus start and a Siege Machine for both Captain and too soon. So, you know, Dubu and Era Siege Machine users, but we will need to keep an eye out on that size scaling. Keone walking up a bit too much, unfortunately. Losing a double barrier off rip. You know, it is first round, so not that big of a deal, but you want to make sure you fix those pretty quickly.
Really nice breakaway pass there from Knight. Kahone went up to strike for that, but got stunned by the Thunderstruck, and rather than just trying to go through the Asher, Knight just brought it down and was able to outpace him back to the goal. Lila's going with the Siphoning Wand, just fully committing to damage, it looks like, with as many Size Awakenings are in the pool as well right now. One of these two, like, you can't really deny Size from the Rasmus. And if Lilas ends up getting Size as well, that's just more damage on the Vice, which is also, like, exceptionally scary. So, like, these first rounds might matter quite a lot, especially with how much scaling Era X kind of requires to be good. I think if Seraphim Oxblood run away with this one, it could spell a little bit of devastation for Chikara if they're able to get a good draft here.
Absolutely, and here we are, set point for the side of Seraphim Oxblood, kind of running away with it right now. And you know, there is a lot here. Knight's gonna be walking up with his flip soon. Big Blade and Keone have theirs, but you know, you're gonna have to use those defensively if you can't get stuff, which they did. So they're chilling pretty comfortably right now.
Creating barriers here. Core flip coming out from Knight. We'll send it down to Lilas on the bottom. Pass splitter from Kahone. There's the Supernova coming out. Big Blade has to fall back and defend, but Kahone gets a little bit out of position with that dash there, and the barrier will be falling down. Still 2 core flips to work with, but Knight not looking too hot. Chikara going to spend 2 flips, actually, to find the KO. I don't know if that was worth it, and too soon just drops the soup and gets a KO in return. Lilas still has his up. Dribble on the bottom side. Going to burn the flip here. The barrier beam comes out. Captain Yes in the way, but the NATO goes backwards and steals it away. And that will be Seraphim Oxblood taking set 1 pretty decisively there. Knight will be the MVP. And no Size actually showing up in this first draft is a little bit surprising, but there are still some pretty nice options to pick from.
Absolutely. We do not have any Size, but we do have that Kata pick, which does let you go the Egoist, on top of just you're going to be taking damage on this map anyways. The Asher's going to hit you, you know, Era, they're all going to hit you. Something to note, though, is that Big Blade did pick up the Reverb, which, while it doesn't have as much value anymore now that its other Health Awakening Brethren have been rotated out, that is still going to help them survive just a bit, you know, even if it's just a little. That's all X really needs to become like this unkillable beast. Oh my. Okay, I was about to say, unfortunate if that didn't go yet, but another double barrier from the side. Seraphim Oxblood into the Supernova. Gonna sink it top corner.
Really nice angle there. I like this draft that they ended up getting quite a lot. Lilas opted for the Unstoppable mostly as a deny, but I think the Super Surge would have been a really good option just because of like how gross Vice's secondary can be with that. It would hit so hard and has so much range, but you want to take the Unstoppable so that Kahone doesn't get it against the Rasmus. Well, I guess Kahone picked first, but you know, either way. You got a Rasmus, and there's like a lot of single hit abilities, so didn't want to have to deal with that. But currently, the first time their goal's been open, an open goal to 2 barriers, is going to leave Oxblood in a little bit of a tight situation here. Going to have to do some nice defense. A nice power core from Lilas. We'll see a barrier taken down now, but Vic Blade cooking on the top side. The dribble will be a good mix-up there to get it around too soon. And they'll be able to tie it up 1-1. First point on the board here for Chikara Clinkers.
Got a bit of a reset. Keone's got his flip. Big Blade will have his flip as well. So does honestly, really everybody's got their flip coming up. I don't know why I was looking at energy bars. Everybody's got theirs coming up. You know, hooks will be expended. Not really going to do anything. Big Blade and Captain in this corner, managing to claim both barriers.
A nice pass there from Captain Yes, and do another one here. Core flip now come out from Vic Blade. The soup from Too Soon. It's a nice placement, and it will be able to push it off right now, but this X is still up in this Debu's face right now. The NATO coming in, the X Maximus, but Too Soon wins the strike war. Now get to pass this pass splitter. Once again, a nice clear from Too Soon. Now Captain Yes trying to get it around. Knight is in the mix, cutting the pass right now. Kahone sending it back in. A good roll, that twin drive coming in big. He will get it over to Knight, who's looking to make the breakaway, but can't quite get it through the Asher. Too Soon sends it in once again for another try. Lilas sets up the Thunderstruck, teleporting in with the mini Supernova, and that's the barrier down. Core flip burnt, blocked by the barrier beam though. And now Vic Blade dribbling up the field. The Bellringer comes out looking for a shot to the bottom. It's good. Right around. And Chikara Clinkers will be up now on set point.
Vicblade's finding these dribbles, just making TuSoon's life kind of miserable. Those are the spots as a Goldie where you're just like, man, I really couldn't do anything, you know? I don't have that projectile. My character just can't deal with that situation. And Vicblade playing towards that strength of his, I mean, I guess it's more of a weakness of the enemy. But regardless, playing around it very well, setting up that same scoring threat multiple times.
And a nice bull rush into X Maximus there from Vicblade to secure it. Saw the setup and just took it. Captain Yes, and getting his core into some favorable positions. Now the X is going to be the MVP here. Still no size showing up. I guess it's just all going to show up at once. But Perfect Form and Ad Rush are both here. Actually going to go for the 1-2 punch on the X. So Deadeye still, though, available potentially for the Vice, but goes for Hotshot instead. Perfect Form falling to the Asher. Chrono deny here from the Rasmus. Kahone going to pick the Creator, and that leaves Orb Dancer up, though, for TuSoon.
Orb Dancer's a little concerning.
Yeah,
honestly.
It's a very good pick there.
Yeah, Orb Dancer, this Dubu's going to be able to walk up. He's got that Siege Machine for a little bit of extra range. Oh, Knight might be a bit AFK. Okay, it's not that. Thought we might see a pause, but we will not. Yeah, so TuSoon, if he's able to stack this orb and he's not really dying very much, he could walk up and just like turn this game basically completely on its head. You know, if this Dubu gets to walk forward and kind of just shut out this X, that'll be really problematic.
Ooh, a nice power chord there from Lilas. I'm a little bit surprised that we didn't see the Deadeye pickup. It could have been Might Super Surge Deadeye Vice, but opted for the Unstoppable and Hotshot instead, which, Hotshot does do more damage, you do get more damage because you get more cooldown on the power chord. But we'll have to see. Like, they're not like super hard committing to doing the KOs, which I feel like Oxblood maybe, they definitely had the potential to do, but they're really kind of just going for more core control, which seems to be mostly panning out for them. But we'll see if they can keep up with this X as we go into the later stages here. Both sides opened up. Knight with the core flip. Unfortunately, it's going to hit the center a little bit there as the Death Touch brings it up, but the shot's a little bit too low. Going to have another chance with the Whiplash running up. Kahone can't quite reach that one, and it will be Seraphim up 2-0 now.
That's the chrono boost difference. Knight, they saw that pass, and forever, you just saw the hook. It looks open, and does not matter. Knight hits his secondary, he runs in, he snags it, and he takes it back topside. Never forgot about the second hook for the Rasmus himself.
Yeah, for sure. 3 flips up for the side of Blinkers right now. Doing some nice patient defense, striking better, redirecting more. We'll be getting it up. My last will be burning the flip to get it out of there, get a barrier off of it as well as Vicblade's core flip. Fast Splitter going to have to come out here, and Vicblade able to land the bull rush. Will mean it's a power play for the side of Jakara. A bit of an unfortunate dribble there, but Kahone going to send it right back in. Might just have to fall back and buy a little bit of time. We'll be able to send the core way back to get some precious seconds for Lilas to come back online here. TuSoon looking to set up this Rasmus and get the offense going once again, potentially. Or Vicblade running up, but the Bellringer sends it a little bit backwards. Tornado coming out, leaves TuSoon with too few options. The core flip's got to come out to get it away from that open goal. A nice power chord snipe once again from Lilas. Opens up Jakara's side of the field. The Supernova comes through. Core flip from Captain Yes sends it around. But Lilas now pass up to Knight. Misses the strike, unfortunately, and can't find the Death Touch. Core flip from Kahone gets out of there. And now it's TuSoon in the 1v2. But it's just too much. Captain Yes is able to get it past the log. But Jakara clinkers on the board.
That's actually such an unfortunate, possibly well-timed by Captain if he saw the log coming. I'm not sure, but if I'm TuSoon, I'm a little upset about that one. I feel like log should have got that.
Yeah, a little bit of a rough situation to be in. And a little bit of an unfortunate, a little bit of a rough angle there as well. A bit of an own barrier, but Seraphim Mockblood looking to redeem themselves. The Soup coming out on offense will mean an open goal, and Vicblade just passes it to Knight. Luckily, they're able to recover it a little bit. However, pushing up with the Whiplash, and Lilas has the flip available, but gets it into a tight spot where Vicblade's Bellringer is actually going to be what scores it. The power chord held it in place just long enough. And Seraphim Moxblood will be taking yet another one. Lilas, the MVP, And there's some of the size, but also explosive and rapid fire. And Stagger Swagger as well. A lot of things for this Vice to pick.
Seems like she wants to opt into that explosive, which makes sense. You don't have any range yet on your secondary, and explosive is very, very good, impacting all your abilities. And Rasm is not opting into the size. Whoa. That's concerning, because now you've left X with both of them. And on top of the reverb scaling, you've got the Might of the Colossus 1-2. I think X might be able to walk at Too Soon and kill him, even with the Pauldrons.
Why did Too Soon just take Built Diff instead of Ponderer?
I don't know. Size scaling.
He doesn't even have Colossus.
I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
he's a little big.
A bit questionable. Maybe might have been AFK there or something. But I'm really surprised Knight didn't take the big fish, because Vicblade just gets size on X with Colossus and Reverb, so that's just like double scaling there. And I don't know, Rapid Fire I don't think was like the highlight of that draft. A little bit of a confusing draft there from Oxblood, but they are able to get the first point, so they're still able to get it done. But hopefully they're just able to close it out here, and it won't come back to bite them in set 5.
Absolutely, and they kind of need to close it out here, because if you lose this set, actually no, scratch that. I thought Catalyst was picked up by somebody on Clinkers. It was not. You're actually chilling. But yeah, you do want to end this set regardless. Just go ahead and close it out with this Era X getting any more problematic than they are. Knight probably going to be able to find something here with this flip coming up very soon.
One barrier down, a favorable bounce. We'll get it up to Knight. Gonna burn the flip right here. Throwing everything at it. Chikara Clinkers will be able to block it, but not get it very far. Nightmare just able to get a favorable bounce off that wall and sink it right in. Not quite enough speed on this Asher to be able to catch that, even with the glass cannon. And well, that's it from Oxblood. They're on game point right now. They very well may just be qualifying, which could be pretty epic. I mean, there would be 2 Seraphim teams qualifying in weeks 1 and 2, which would be pretty crazy.
Absolutely. And, you know, they do have both barriers down, and this could be bad for them, but Knight showing some signs of life. Hang on. Something that he might just want to win. Vicblade's got his flip up here, and that might go in. That, yeah, you cannot stop the bull rush. The log is not available.
Yeah, really tight situation for Too Soon. Without the soup cooldown, there's not a lot you can do about that. Unless you, like, hold the roll for as long as possible, but it's just very sketchy. So, Clinkers, you know, they'll be able to get themselves on the board. They can definitely bring this one back. It is not out of grasp, to be sure, but Oxblood just need to keep their momentum, and they can seal the deal right here. Both barriers still up for the moment. Vicblade will be able to get one here off the X Maximus. Going for more, but Too Soon able to get that one out of there. Soup coming out as well will shut down that push. And Lilas and Nightmare in perfect position. One after the next. The barriers will fall now. An open goal. They're one good shot away from taking it. Vicblade whiffs the flip, but gets the barrier regardless. Night touch from Nightmare, trying to get around Kahone, but just can't quite reach it, sending it back in. Lilas trying to desperately feed the core up to Knight, but just can't quite get there. Now, once again, Too Soon, forced to make a decision. Vicblade and Captain Yes closing in. Nice strike war from Knight. We'll get it out, but Captain Yes retaliating now and setting up the NATO. Tries to pass the Vicblade. Core flip comes out from Too Soon, but Captain Yes blocks it with the bewitching beam and just forces it right through. Chikara Clinkers, they brought it to set point now. They can take this one back. The next point, obviously, gonna really determine it all.
Absolutely, and Knight's got his flip up, so does Lilac coming up, or no, that's the other way around, but both flips here for the side. Vicblade looking a little low, that could be problematic. A death here probably means set. You know, this Air Native kind of playing it forward. There's a lot of danger, and it kind of seems like Oxblood just cannot rebuild the same tempo they were building in the earlier sets.
Clinkers got a bit of momentum to work with here. Knight having to burn the flip defensively right now. A Knight dash touch, but Captain Yes wins the strike war, trying to force it up to Vicblade. Lilash with the core flip will get it out, but the NATO setting up in the midfield. Captain Yes able to get it in the hitbox. Belginger comes through, but the defense so far holding in the top corner. Vicblade looking for the dribble. Will be able to find it right in between Too Soon and Lilas. And Chikara Clinkers, they've brought it back from the brink. We go into a set 5. Egoist gonna be showing up in this draft. as well as Rampage. And there they are. Stacks on stacks and Fight or Flight here as well. Very critical draft, to be sure. I don't think you can... I mean, this is a really tough choice here for Knight. It's either Egoist or Rampage. Looks like they're going to opt for the Egoist, but this is rough.
That's just terrible. Oh my. Kione taking that Monu, but you leave the Egoist for the Catalyst Rasmus. I mean, this guy's going to just... He might not need the size anymore. He's just going to farm flips and then run at you. And, like, yes, you look at this and you think, okay, yeah, you got Rampage for your X, you could probably still just walk up and kill them. But the question is, can you do it before Knight gets an Egoist proc? Because if Knight gets an Egoist proc, I think he just takes both barriers and scores. It really does. Like, especially with just how, like, consistent he's been at taking both barriers this game. That's very, very concerning to give him the Egoist.
Only their secret weapon here. Vicblade already stacking that that size right now, and no barriers falling down on Clinker's side of the field right now. Core Flip's coming up all around as well. Lilas trying to force it into this bottom side. The Mini Nova. So far, Kahone holding. Will lose one barrier. Knight looking for a second. One's going to be able to find it. NATO winding up from Captain Yes, but Core in Nightmare's field, able to get the pendulum swing right past Kahone. Read the dash wrong. Read the angle wrong there for the dash. It'll be Oxblood first on the board in this set 5. And they haven't even had their Core Flips come up yet. Lilas and Knight going to be getting theirs this set.
The Vicblade Captain can play it forward here. Kione will have his very soon. This could be a little scary. Vicblade flipped up, and it's actually fine. It's back in the Captain's possession somehow.
And a little bit of a mistime there from Knight. Be able to get that barrier, but Core Flip's getting traded right now, and Knight sending it back down to Lilas. But thinking about trading the Core Flip for the Egoist Catalyst guy is that, well, Knight is well ahead in the energy race here. Lilas burning the flip, but is now out of energy and loses the barrier here. Vicblade is staggered, though. They could look for the KO. Gonna force him out of the play just a little bit. So Lilas and Knight look to cook and bring some offense happen. Knight can receive the pass. Gonna get one barrier as well as Kahone's Core Flip. Captain Yes burning the flip here as well. Doesn't get too much off of it. And they're not even killing Vicblade. They're just keeping him staggered. There's the KO coming out from too soon. And now a real power play beginning for the side of Oxblood. Lilas trying to... Unfortunately, they lost possession of the core a little bit. They just kind of let it bounce around and weren't really able to capitalize on that much.
Good. Rasmus Hook's going to put Kione out of position. Knight's flip will be used, and I think that was very close to being a bit of a Tycho moment. Knight's looking very low as well, and the power chord going to find it in like it's found. What seems like every point this game has been to a power chord.
Yeah, Lilas has been lining these up really well. And Primetime Hotshot, the cooldown is pretty much always up, which is pretty nice as well. Not too much happening off the kickoff, but Oxblood will be able to bring down one barrier. Clinker is going to get one in return. As the battle over this top side of the map going to ensue right now. Lilas teleporting in with the Thunderstruck, goes for the flip here. Stalls it out and baits the barrier beam. Actually gets the barrier there. But now it's Clinker's turn to kind of retaliate. The X-Maximus getting popped. The soup coming out from too soon. We'll be able to shut it down, but they still got the corner offense going. Core Flip from Vicblade finds it. And now with an open goal, this could be a little bit rough too soon with the misread on the log. Will mean Captain Yes is able to find the shot and thread the needle. Chikara Clinkers 2-1, but this is exactly how it was last set. Seraphim Oxblood, they cannot let it slip away here.
Absolutely. Knight does have that flip ready to go, and both barriers down for the side of Clinkers. This is a very dangerous spot. Supernova's just a bit scary there in that corner. Knight not going to use his flip just yet. He's going to have to use it soon, though, because he's going to die if he does not.
And Vicblade just running back with the X-Maximus, and there it is, off the center. And that's possibly a disaster for Seraphim Oxblood, as now the power play is ensuing for Chikara Clinkers. One barrier lost. They're looking for more. They're sending it back up to Vicblade here, and there it goes. It falls, gets around too soon. The Bellbringer sends it backwards. Luckily, Kahone is able to save it. It was almost an own goal here. The backwards NATO, though, it just sets up Knight. They were hit-stunning Knight to try and get it out, but the backwards NATO from Captain Yes just sent it right back, and they're able to sink it in. Seraphim Oxblood in a set 5 match. They will be taking the W today and making it to the finale.
Absolutely. Both teams played pretty well. Both teams played played pretty well. I don't have a lot of complaints. I think some of the drafts were a little interesting, but I mean, you know, it ended up coming back, especially for that egoist pick. You know, Seraphim gonna add one more win to their record. Whoever's keeping up with that, I think Achi. But it's all good because we will be seeing another surprise. First time in what feels like forever. Another Chikara versus Seraphim ending down in third place tiebreaker. No, I'm crazy. I'm just kidding. It's a Chikara team kill.
It's a team kill. It's another team kill, which, I mean, we kind of see a lot of those at this point.
Yeah, never mind. I completely forgot what team won. My bad. We will be seeing our last and final game for the third place tiebreaker to see who qualifies today this week. Chikara Cheating versus Chikara Clinkers. You know, Clinkers who we just saw being Captain Yes, Kione, Vic Blade, and Cheating being Brando, I Don't Care, and Solus Europe, that is Striker Rasmus.
Yeah, the last remaining qualifier spot for the week. Well, it will be going to a Chikara team, to be sure, but which one, we won't know. Yeah, I'm curious as to what cheaters are going to be doing here, because their comp last time was not it. It did not cook, so I'm hoping to see a bit of a changed game plan, especially because Kahone, Vicblade, and Captain Yes are like pretty good players as well. It's kind of, I think it's kind of Clinker's game to lose right now.
Absolutely, and he's loading in here. I'm assuming. I'm gonna assume. Actually, it probably hasn't been set up. I believe it's just what it was last time. I don't know what map we're going to yet. I don't know. There's a lot of things that could happen. You know, Clinker's got a couple different comps they can run. They showed us last round that they're capable of running a more standard comp. You know, the Era X with the Asher in the net, but also Kione, known for this Asher, or not the Asher, this known for that Era goalie pick, allows you to do interesting stuff. You know, double brawler, or you just run it with like a Kai midfield or something, and then like you just buff your X. A lot of things that they can do, but also we've seen Cheating is not afraid to get a little freaky with it, and just do whatever they feel like doing. So we'll see what they have to cook up as soon as we get into this. I'm waiting for the teams to do their stuff.
Yeah. With Kahone, it could, if it's like a, it might just be an Atlas Lab game, but if it is like a Night Market game or something, I think we can just expect to see the Era goal, because I think every time I've seen this guy play Night Market, it's been Strike Shot Era, and then just like double brawler or something. I think last time they did Kai, but same difference. Kai runs fast, Era makes people go fast. So there's a couple ways that they could go with this. As for I Don't Care, I don't remember exactly their character pool, but I feel like Rune is not going to be the pick, especially into like X. Because I mean, we literally saw the matchup last time that they were on stream, and if Vicblade just plays X, well, it might just, it could very well just all be over. But we'll find out in just a bit. It looks like it is Night Market though, so I expect to see the Era here. I think if you're what the other team cheaters, yeah, Chikara Cheating, you're gonna either need to ban the Era or the X, because I think that's very likely what Clinkers is gonna be running.
Absolutely, and you know, there's not really much to say. Night Market's kind of figured out.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of tonight is Now, and Now does generally pretty well against Era. And with some of the changes, like the nerfs, I feel like weren't like super big nerfs. And I feel like the instant popping on the drone is like really, on the secondary is like really, really nice. And that primary hits incredibly hard now. with Creation Awakenings. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it's something to consider. Like, I haven't seen anyone play it like all night, which is kind of crazy, but I think including it somewhere in the draft could be pretty nice for either of these teams, should they elect to do it. But it looks like everyone's readied up, so hopefully we should be getting into it pretty shortly.
We were waiting for Brando to hit that start key. Yeah, they might be. I'm taking a small break. We've been here for a bit. Yeah, the now pick is definitely very strong. I think it's also just one of those picks. I think people kind of like, they did that thing where character got nerfed and everybody was like, this is gonna kill the character, and so like people like thought the character died, even though like a lot of people have played now after the nerfs, the nerf end quote, and a lot of people actually think she feels a little bit better, surprisingly. But I think just because of the way like we as a community kind of look at nerfs, you're like, oh, this is it, that's gonna gut the character, and like it kind of like mind control some people just drop her, even though she's still plenty fine. And you know, we are in fact on this night market seeing a Feeny hover. That could be some interesting kill comp stuff happening, possibly. Brando hovering the Asher, he does tend to like that pick. Striker Rasmus, we might just see this comp be ran back. And honestly, I think it might be better on this map.
Yeah. With the Finny as well, it's going to be helping quite a lot. Julie X-Ban, pretty standard stuff. But I imagine we're going to see the Era coming out here, which... the Era goalie is kind of going to do one thing if they end up picking it, and that's going to just be shrink Brando forever. Oh, wait, actually, Striker Rasmus... The Rasmus got taken away, so it might just be the Era pick for midfield, and they deny it away, and they're just going to kitten comp Asher.
Absolutely, and this kind of puts Keone in a weird spot, because his Era's gone, his Asher's gone. So I guess we're playing the Drakkar, and Drakkar, while he has been like kind of a standard, almost like you could have this in your back pocket and never pull him out. You know, he's always does like okay. I don't really know if he provides you anything. I guess he does on aerial start, but even still, I don't really know if he provides you much on night market from the goalie.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to be sure. Brando, whenever they're able to get the core, it's gonna be able to just kind of force it through there. A nice KO from Vic Blade to be able to start things off here, but Magnetize, it was a Aerial's built diff start. Everyone went built diff except for Captain Yes and Kone, obviously, but Striker Rasmus also went for the Magnetized Souls on Era. So really looking to play around the center speed gate here, and just kind of move up to whichever lane they need him to cover to be able to help out Brando. So I'm kind of liking what Chikara Cheating is cooking up here.
Absolutely. Oh, and Brando gonna hit flip in front of the net, and both Captain and Keone do not have the patience to just gotta wait, unfortunately. So just to be able to put that in pretty easily, taking that first point of the game, and found a kill, finding a lot of damage on Captain here. Brando's still got all of his abilities. Evade's gonna come out, he's gonna be saved. And he's probably fine still. I don't see a way you kill him now that you just blew everything, but that does show you a little bit of what this kill comp can do to you very early on, especially as a Kai.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of a struggle for sure. A nice Bewitching Beam there will allow Brando to sink it right in. Chikara Cheating up 2-0 right now. They're going to have some energy to work with here as well. Vic Blade choosing me having a core flip up, but Chikara Cheating's been pretty consistently able to get some early momentum going, and they're kind of able to hold on to it for a pretty decent length of time, and I think we're seeing the effects of Asher getting a lot of speed boosts from this Era. A fast Asher is an incredibly scary Asher because, I mean, she's kind of designed around being slow, so when she's able to go fast, it becomes really oppressive, especially with something like a ranged goalie who wants the core nowhere near them to be able to deal with, because you can kind of just run up and catch wherever you're trying to clear it to. So it's definitely a bit of an uphill battle here for Clinkers, it looks like.
Absolutely, and it seems like Clinkers kind of really just want to play this towards the middle and get that top barrier, but Feeny is kind of really good at that, like covering that. You almost want to stuff Feeny. Like, you can't really go for these like side shots because she has so many abilities that just globally affect pretty much, you know, the secondary, the ult, all that. Mariners gonna be able to find that in and take that set for the side of cheating, but I think if they want to find like the success they need off these plays, you kind of have to swap. You can't always be going for this middle, especially against these ranged goalies.
Yeah. And with this Era able to like provide the speed boost as well, and Finny already moving pretty fast, you know, IDC can kind of run up and convert and cover a lot of ground very, very quickly here. And opting to go for the Deadeye. Perfect Form and Fight or Flight, both making it pretty low in this draft. Twin Drive pickup is a little bit surprising there. I would have expected the Fight or Flight on the Era, but it will go down to the Rasmus. Perfect Form going to go untouched that draft, as Brando opting for the size here. And Stagger Swagger on Captain Yes. Kahone went for the Missile Prop. So this Missile Prop Aerial Strike Shot Drakkar. This guy has fully invested into projectile range and then like basically nothing else. So it's good, you know, obviously a lot of projectile range is nice, but once Brando gets the core and is like up close, Kahone kind of has nothing to deal with that. And with the extra size as well, this double size Asher, things will start to fall apart very quickly once things get past like midfield.
Kahone putting on his Dark Souls strength user build cosplay. You know, dump all your stats into one. Do whatever you want. And anyways, power play for the size. For the side of Chikara cheating. Zato probably spells Doom if I had to imagine Brando can be able to play it in that corner. IDC walking up with this flip, and now it's like really scary. Brando's got his, Striker still has possession. The flip at midfield line is going to find it in. Yeah.
Nice little stall there from Brando to get it through both of them. There's, I mean, yeah, cheating just they're the ones that are kind of on the roll now, as opposed to being the ones getting rolled. And I mean, the Brando guy's just gonna really get out of control if they get another good draft. Colossus showing up or Rampage showing up, and the size Exodia could just be complete. And then at that point, you just take up so much space, and like, what are you able to do? The offense hasn't quite been there for Clinkers to be able to, you know, really make anything happen. Every time Brando gets the core, well, things seem to fall apart right now. Striker Rasmus, the nice core flip, send it back up. Clinkers is able to reconvert though, and Captain Yes can bring down that barrier with the barrage here. But Brando is again receiving the core. A nice shotgun though. They can't find the death touch. And now Kai sending it up, but Rasmus not even there to receive the pass in time. It's just going to go right through everything. The card, the secondary, all of that. And Clinkers will be able to finally put themselves on the board here.
Here we go. Kick off again. Captain Yes can be able to find that top barrier. Maybe the second one if he can get it, but he will not. And taking a lot of damage as well. I really do believe that if Brando ever decides Captain's, you know, free trial life is over, he gotta probably just run back. He could do it now if he had the abilities, but he just does not. Captain can be able to find that second barrier, and we have Vic played with the flip in the enemy net. IDC, you just cannot defend that. That is very brutal for any goalie to defend.
Yeah, pretty rough there to kind of lose everything. But Clinkers on set points. Could be looking to tie this one up. They've got some flips to work with right now. A lot of damage coming out onto Vic Blade right there. And no energy as well means he can be out of the play for just a little bit. And actually going to find the KO though onto Striker Rasmus. Both barriers down now. Core flip from Captain Yes. Sink it right in. And that's Clinkers. They'll be able to tie it up now, a set to a set. So they're certainly not out of this one yet. Captain Yes going to be the MVP here. And well, both Energy Awakenings actually showing up on the board. And Might of the Colossus as well. They might have to deny that one away if they can.
This is actually quite an unfortunate draft for Clinkers. You think like, yeah, it looks good because you are gonna be able to take that might, but now the Asher's gonna be able to pick up that ad rush, the Egoist. They're gonna get something they want. You know, Egoist. So now that Ada's gone, it's not as big of a threat. Actually, Vicblade denying the Monumentalists. I don't know about that one, but I get it. You don't want the you're suffering from this era damage. The NATOs are a little big. You don't want them any bigger, and I mean, yeah, you know, not the worst draft for cheating, to be honest. Even though that they lost, they still come out pretty happy.
Yeah, they get some nice stuff there. They forced 2 denies as well. It's Might of the Colossus on Kai, which does basically nothing, and then the Rasmus had to take Monumentalist, which is not super helpful. So even though they got like denied like the Hyper Biss, they still really came out on top with 3 much better Awakenings, and you got Egoist on your Asher. Like, you can't be bad about that at all. So I think as long as they continue to play better, they're in a pretty good spot. A nice Strike War there, though, from Vicblade. We'll see the second barrier fall for cheating. Coreflip going to come out there from IDC. Kahone can't find the strike shot or the angle on the shotgun, as Brando's able to sink that one in. Jakar cheating going to be first up.
Absolutely brutal. And something to note about this Twin Drive pick is that Era can kind of just speed boost off cooldown pretty much. You know, I thought she had it there. I guess she didn't, but Era is more than likely going to have a speed boost for every kickoff, and that's brutal. Absolutely brutal for any team to deal with. Like, just losing kickoff, especially against either of these teams, like, it's really important you kind of win that.
Nice core flip from Kahone. Gets it over to Captain Yes, who sets up Vicblade for the shot. IDC just can't get the triple take out in time. Nice play there from Chikara Clinkers to keep things moving right along. As, well, they're keeping it neck and neck. They're making this game really close. And a double barrier off kickoff as well here for Vicblade is going to spell a bit of danger for the side of Jakara cheating. Brando looking to even things up with the Egoist. He gets one, pops the flip for the second one. He's going to get set up here. A shot to the top. A nice mix-up, putting Kahone in a real pinch. And it will be cheating who takes the point now, and they'll be on set point with that.
Absolutely, and Rasmus is going to have, Striker Rasmus is going to have his, everybody really is. Brando's got his coming up very soon as well, and with that Egoist, you got a bit more aura, if you will, whenever he's got that flip ready to go. Striker Rasmus is going to find this NATO. It's not going to find much. IDC walking up, going to walk up too far though. Going to lose that barrier for it. And now that Vicblade is in the middle, open net with a flip in his hand, this could be detrimental. Oh, no flip in hand anymore.
Nice bait on the flip there. Striker Rasmus has to be a bit careful. The Death Touch comes out but doesn't fully form, so won't be KO'd, and Brando actually is going to get the KO on the Captain Yes first. So they'll have the power play here. Triple off the bumper. Vicblade coming back just in time. The Finio going to get popped. The intention, I think, was to send it to Striker Rasmus, but just didn't quite get the angle. Doesn't matter, though, because they'll find the setup regardless. And Brando will get it done. Jakar cheating. We'll take the set now. Up 2-1. Brando, the MVP here, could end up finding the Rampage, or just could end up finding something else entirely. A lot of solid Awakenings to pick from, just kind of all around. Orb Ponderer, I think, could be a bit notable for someone.
Taking the prime time, that's interesting. I thought for sure it would have been like either extra special or 1-2 punch. They could have pondered it, like you said. I really thought they were just gonna kind of play towards their build. The extra special would have been really good just for printing energy, you know, and getting more Egoist rocks. But they opted into the prime time. I guess you can probably find more kills. There might be something you can do there. And they did pick up orbs, but honestly, Jakar in this matchup has, like, your cooldowns aren't saving you. I don't really know if you're going to get much value out of this orb pickup.
Yeah, and I mean, Shotgun is a short cooldown to begin with, so it's not really doing a whole lot for that, and a bit of an unfortunate situation there for Kahone, as Brando is able to sink that one in. But yeah, I don't know. It could have been a 1-2 punch angle. I think there was not a lot left really at that point. for Kahone. But a nice KO from Jakar cheating will put them in a nice power play here. Captain Yes looking to get one barrier in the 2v3, but they're managing to hold on. They're not lost the barrier yet. Core flip does come out from Kahone, cleared out of there as Big Blade comes back online. The death touch to bring it up to the top, but IDC is there in time. Hold it down, Captain Yes. Covering the barrier, will bring it down now as Vic Blade looking for the pass striker. Raz with a nice strike forward here, but core flip from Brando sees both sides opened up. Giga Blast to try and get it over to Vic Blade. They're forcing the corner hard. Striker Rasmus will be able to hold it down for the time being. Kahone once again sending it down to the bottom side. Core is moving quite fast coming towards them. With flip there from IDC is not particularly great. Striker Rasmus as well, but they'll get it up to Brando, and that's all you really need to do at that point. And they'll just sink it in. The Brawlers will get it done. And that's card cheating on match points.
Yeah, cheating seems like they've kind of scaled a little bit out of control. They're kind of just running away with the game as each set, this Asher gets bigger. And, you know, the Feeny gets faster. The Era gets... You know, Era also gets faster. There's a lot of things working against you. You don't really have time. That is not like not something in your favor. And Brando is just making it absolutely awful for Keone to play the game.
Nice barrier beam for Brando. Totally shuts down anything that Kahone can do, really, as well. We do have a core flip to work with, but it might not do much. We'll be able to get it out to Captain Yes here, but Striker Rasmus on the defense is going to be a little bit hard to 1v2 that. The NATO coming out as well as Brando dropping the pass splitter here, burning the core flip. Kahone burning it in return, is able to get it through Striker Rasmus. Some nice timing there. Now it's up to the forwards to try and make something happen in this barrier, but they can't seem to get it past that kind of like 1/3 of the map. And as we go into overtime, it's going to be IDC setting up Brando for a sinker right there as card cheating. They'll take the game pretty decisively, and they'll be moving on to finale.
Absolutely, and that's our final game of the week for the first time in, I don't know, what feels like 9 weeks or something. We are ending quite early. You know, Seraphim Oxblood, Boss, and Chikara
Cheating.
Yes, Chikara cheating.
Yeah.
Finding their way into the qualifiers. They will be moving on, and you know, we did see actually a couple teams that will more than likely also be in qualifiers. You know, Nowzy Self-Esteem. It's a real chance we see Clinkers come back and make it in. Plink even. Like, there's a lot of teams that played today that could probably very well make it back again. But yeah, those are our winners of today. So from Oxblood, Boss, and Chikara cheating, finding their way through.
Yeah, and with that, well, that's all the games that we have tonight. Thank you everyone for watching, and congratulations to the team that won. So we'll be seeing y'all next week for week 3, see who else makes it in. But that's all from us. Goodbye.